Should we be starting the weekend or closing the weekend off here on Sportswire Radio? Well, because tonight might be a little different for us here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, because not only do we have one guest, we got two guests with us and two regulars with us here on Sportswire Radio. As a matter of fact, I should really be the guest because it's their shows tonight, because they've got a lot to say and maybe a lot of shots that could be fired against those or toward those who might not be doing the things they should be doing in the backyard and the underground wrestling circuit. You saw Deadpool already. You saw Alien Romulus. You saw Twisted. You got nothing to do. You've been depressed with the hurricane season. Football hasn't come yet. Maybe you just watched UFC 305 yesterday. You want to forget about that. You want to go forget about baseball. Baseball's boring. What's the strike zone? Well, ladies and gentlemen, have no fear. Sportswire Radio is going to be here, and you'll forget all of that. You might get more action in this than, let's say, more any other concert or anything else out there. And hopefully our guest here has that back door locked. And hopefully our guest here has nobody trying to invade that back door. But something tells me he's coming through the back and the front door. And he's going to be firing not one, not two, but three, but who knows how many shots out there. So I'm going to introduce him. Plus, we've got a proud papa here with a brand new son. And to quote a song, I guess, maybe Papa's got a brand new bag. And I guess, ladies and gentlemen, this one here might not be a bulldozer. It might not be an Armageddon. But we'll definitely be setting trends tonight. Because I can assure you, this one you'll remember for a long time on Sportswire Radio. And you might even say this will be trendsetter-like, but we'll stay trendy. We'll certainly try to do that here and some. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my good fortune to introduce these two very good friends of mine. I made sure, once again, to put my work uniform on, despite that man who has that backdoor problem still not having his own shirt. Boy, those who show up to work without their own uniforms, well, we'll certainly give them a pass, because after all, these guys, if I keep it up, they might be firing the shots toward me, and I don't think I can take these guys' heat. I don't think I can keep up with them. I got no smoke compared to these guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is my good fortune to introduce these two very dear friends of mine in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, Sportswire Radio. So with Without further ado, here on the Sports Report, number one, Sports Show. First, he's a proud new papa. He was once upon a time a Southern bulldozer. The only thing he'll be bulldozing now is his son's diapers. He's definitely a man that brings Armageddon. Simply put, he's our boy, Shane Davidson, and the man that is always staying trendy, the man that is a trendsetter, who had a victory last week at TBW Rampage 167 on the one-time Hardcore King, who the only thing he might be king for is those Burger King crowns you get at Burger King after you buy a Whopper, medium fries, and a medium drink. He's one of the very best around in our circuit currently. He's simply put, the Trendsetter. hope your back door is locked in, fellas. How you doing tonight?
Doing great, and the back door is definitely locked. It will forever stay locked. It's never going to be open.
Well, I'm glad to know that for the audience. We're very happy to know, and there's a lot to talk about. But first of all, I actually want to give a congratulations to Shane Davidson, who's in order, because the reason he hasn't been here over the past few weeks is actually he's a new father. And Armageddon, Shane Davidson, congratulations on the birth of your beautiful new son. And tell us, boy, wow, you know what? Certainly, we got to give all the credit in the world to the missus. She obviously is definitely up for the Nobel Peace Prize. She is definitely your queen and the Sportswire queen for sure. And congratulations. And talk about the name of your son and how does it feel to be a proud new papa, my friend?
Oh man, it changes your life, man. Words can't really describe the feelings I felt this past week, man. And I don't know, man. It's just a lot of emotions. On top of that, I don't know. I'm just I'm still like a whirlwind of emotions.
How you doing
man.
with sleep these days? How's your sleep patterns?
Man. 3 hours here, 3 hours there.
Yeah.
Can't really complain.
Well, if you'll complain, I'm sure the missus in the background will definitely.
My wife just said sometimes we get 4.
Oh, 4. So 4 must be a good day. 4 is like a bonus almost. Must be the greatest
4,
hour of your life.
Well, especially when he's milk drunk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'd like to be drunk on Mountain Dew, yet your son's drunk on milk.
But no, his name is Rowan William Pasquini. That's the name of his middle name is my father's name. So yeah.
What a beautiful name, almost like Eric Rowan there. What a nice name there.
Yeah. my wife actually picked his name out. So.
Oh really? Wow. Usually it was funny. My name is obviously the Reverend Tom Bryce or Thomas Bryce, and I'm just simply named after my father because his father had the same name and his father. And actually, your wife had a really creative name. That's why she's obviously the boss of the house. That's why she's the queen. What a genius she is, boy. You really we owe everything to Mrs. Pasquini.
Yep, absolutely.
Have you met the son yet, Alan? Have you met Rowan William yet, Aaron? Oh, Alan.
Oh, Aaron! No, come on, man.
Aaron. So unfortunately, that's my mouth being dry. But Alan Michaels, my mouth is dry. I have to be honest. I literally had like 50 messages. I woke up late and I missed half of my Facebook and Instagram messages, and I'm trying to get back to all of them. But the trendsetter, Alan Michaels, you are no Aaron. You are certainly no Aaron. But have you met Rowan William yet?
I have indeed. I mean,
you have indeed. So did you did you help Rowan Williams stay trendy, or he doesn't have to stay trendy, right?
He don't have to stay trendy. He's already trending. The moment he entered this world, he was trending. He's a good kid, man. I mean, that's Uncle Trendy here.
Oh wow, an uncle. How's it feel to be an uncle then, Alan Michaels? How does
it's like 10 times better than actually being a parent myself. I get to enjoy all the things except I get 8 to 9 hours of sleep. And I can leave just whenever I'm done.
Well, you know what? It makes 2 of us because I gotta be honest. The one thing that I haven't done is obviously I haven't been a parent as far as I know, right? As a joke, but I think I wouldn't be where I am today if I had a family because the amount of time and dedication that takes. Obviously, all the credit to you and the missus. But in all seriousness, congratulations from everybody out here on Sportswire Radio, everybody on the team on Fridays, everybody just that comes on here. I know a lot of people certainly congratulate you. And I think you might be the first person we've had as an analyst maybe have the birth of a kid on the platform in all the years. I'm trying to think, have we had anybody in all my years doing this that had the birth of a son or daughter? I think you might be the first, in this the existence of Sportswire, unless I'm missing somebody that came on here. Maybe I have 4 kids. I don't know about it.
What?
Whoa! Trust me. The joke is all I am is here on Sportswire. So the chances of that happening are pretty much
technically Sportswire is your baby. I mean, technically. I mean, it's a lot of time and dedication to the platform.
Well, I mean, if you want to go into that detail, you could certainly talk about that. I know we'll get to that one day, but obviously, congratulations. We obviously, I'm very happy to see you. I know there's a lot of comments. We'll get to some of them, but I guess before we get into some of those shots firing, Alan Michaels, I guess I should talk to you a little bit about Tennessee backyards. I know I had you here this past week, but really the focus was really you in the back door. And we had you here, I think, the week prior, and I don't think we talked too much really about TBW. Maybe a thought or two here and there, but I have to ask for those that are listening in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, where do we see the trendsetter Alan Michaels coming up here when it comes to not only the go home show for Summer Bash, TBW Rampage 168 this Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, but also who do you think you may be having a match with for those that are going to be out there watching?
I have no idea who I'd be having a match with. I know a couple people that I'd love to get my hands on. One of them being any member of the Prophecy.
Any?
Well, not any. Let me rephrase that. Any active member on the roster who is a active wrestler, I would love to get my hands on the ring.
Now, may I prod and ask something as a follow-up on that? Now, I remember correctly, you can correct me if I'm wrong, a couple of weeks ago, we were here and there was one member of the Prophecy that was here, and you had a few things to say to that individual. And his name is Mr. Chaotic, and you've had a little bit of history with him here on this platform and certainly in TBW TV of late these past several weeks. And would he be a name that would qualify under the description of people in the Prophecy you might want to get your hands on?
Oh, 100%. Because, I do forgive the Prophecy and what happened. But
you do? Still?
I still forgive, but I'll never forget what happened.
Well, I know you're Mr. 999. You've become religious somehow. And I mean, I won't go into details of that. But Chaotic, I mean, you were talking with him a couple weeks ago here on Sportswire. And you were almost reminding him of who he was and kind of how he's letting himself being taken advantage of. And as odd as this sounds, Jacob Young was here a few days ago. And I know you heard a lot about that. And even he was saying he wouldn't treat Chaotic the way he's being treated in his family. And you were kind of talking with him in that this is not the Chaotic that you knew. This was not the Chaotic that everybody else knows. And he's allowing himself to be abused pretty much.
Oh, yeah. 100% facts. I mean, I honestly refuse to even call him by that name because I don't know him by that. I know him by Max Chaos.
Yes.
I know the high-flying daredevil that stole the hearts of all the TBW fans and would love to see him succeed. I know that guy. I don't know who this is.
He didn't have too much success, though, as Max Chaos. He's had more success as Chaotic, though. He's got some major wins under the name Chaotic rather than Max Chaos. I mean, that was once upon a time ago he had success as Max Chaos, but wasn't in his later moments as Max Chaos.
You can always measure success by how much someone means to a company or to a label. Yes. And honestly, I think Max Chaos did a lot more for the people, did a lot more for the fans than Chaotic ever has. See, Max Chaos would do anything for the fans. Max Chaos would do anything for his peers. He's a great guy. And, he stumbled upon something. It wasn't like he just joined. He didn't just join the Prophecy. No, he got beat in. It was a ritual. He got beat to a bloody pulp until he was forced to be in the Prophecy.
But he could have left at any time, and he still hasn't left. Even this past show where, he didn't use the brass knuckles, but he's still a part of the group.
You know why he didn't use those brass knuckles? It's because somewhere deep inside there's still Max.
Or maybe he just wanted to show the family and show the man he won't speak of that he can win on his own. And maybe he still wants to be a part of the family.
I don't think he is. Somebody who wants to be a part of a family who gets beaten on every week, and someone to a family that he didn't even want to join, that he was forced to join. I mean, I don't really call that a family.
Well, the
call
man
that
that you wrestled, he
Stockholm
talked about
syndrome.
corporal punishment. I mean, do you believe in corporal punishment? And Shane, don't do any corporal punishment as a father because it's 2024.
I don't believe in corporal punishment. You know,
No.
Take shit away.
I don't know. I was raised on gentle parenting,
Ah.
and
Ah.
you know, there's definitely a couple times I probably should have got masked with, but you know, I still turned out to be a really good guy.
Well,
And
you're a great guy. You're not a good guy. That's CJ Black. You're a great guy. You're always staying trendy. You're Mr. 999. I mean, I'm wearing your own shirt. I'm wearing your own shirt, repping you, and you're not even repping yourself. You're such a kind, gentle man, such a humble man, Alan. You know, you're just such. That's why you and Russell Cooper bond so well together.
But going back to Max Chaos, you know, somewhere deep down inside that there's still glimpses of Max, and I think those little moments to where, like with the brass knuckle incident, he's showing flashes if he can do this on his own. And
Chaotic beat D'Angelo the Flame, though, your best friend once upon a time.
He did.
He was chaotic. Max Chaos didn't do that.
Nah, but Max Chaos is also a better human being.
He might be, but in this sport, you know it better than anybody else. Being a good guy or being a great human being doesn't always mean wins and losses. I mean, Shane Davidson, once upon a time, he was Armageddon in the Southern Bulldozer. I mean, he wasn't so much of a nice guy in the ring, and he was doing well.
You could say that, but you could also look at the cases of someone like a John Cena.
Yes.
I grew up watching Cena. I may have, Jeff Hardy was my favorite wrestler, but John Cena, I mean, he was
never give up, always did it the right reasons.
If I had to compare John Cena, I'm an avid anime watcher, Tom.
Yes, I know. I see on your Instagram stories. I'm always watching Instagram stories. Yes.
John Cena is the literal human incarnation of All Might. And All Might is like this one-of-a-kind hero in this anime, and he like that. That's the best comparison I can give Cena. I mean, Cena was the best guy. Didn't turn heel, never give up, hustle, loyalty, respect.
Yeah, 20. I think 20 years, right, without turning heel, just about 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I grew up watching Cena, and
Rey Mysterio, right? Rey Mysterio and John Cena are the guys you always count on. Do it for the right reasons.
And I don't know. I just respect it so much. I just respect what Cena did for all those years, and it has led me to be the person who I am. Someone who would give anything for the fans.
But you still don't hold gold yet in TBW. What if the fans?
Holding gold don't mean that the fans don't love you.
But in this sport, though, we know what it's about. It's about the money. It's about the fame. It's about the gold. It's about the women. And right now, you might have the fame. I think you have the women, but you don't have the gold.
I have the woman, one singular. Whoa, you're getting in trouble, Tom. Whoa.
That was the back door. That was the back door.
But
the point is, you don't have gold. You've done it the right reasons.
I do not have gold. But what I have is the support of 8,000 subscribers behind me.
Yeah, now that I agree. And we want people to subscribe to TBW 2017 on YouTube and TikTok TBW 2017. As a matter of fact, I'm actually going to put that TBW YouTube channel link up for those that are out there because I know people are waiting for you to say a few things. We'll get to that, but I want to make sure people do go out and please subscribe to our friends at Tennessee Backyard Wrestling because they've obviously been so gracious to have us here each and every time cover their coverage. They're obviously in the Hall of Fame on Sportswire Radio, so we want to make sure we support those in TBW because little old me's trying to get to 1,000 subs, yet TBW, the big machine, is trying to get to 8,000 subs. And if you're out there, go hit that sub button for them because they're just about there, and they're about 230 or some odd subscribers away from 8,000. I'm about 130 some odd subscribers for 1,000, and that's when Alan Mikaels will turn into a prophecy. He'll turn into a beast when he chaotically roasts me when I get to 1,000 subs, and Shane Davis is going to turn into that Southern Bulldozer and Armageddon me, and everybody else in the backyard and the underground, the independent, the British wrestling circuit's going to all gather, and they're all going to basically want to Tom Brady me like on Netflix. So, but yes, that's the TBW YouTube channel. But So I guess we'll have to find out then this Thursday. Where do you play into Summer Bash here? Huh, Alan Michaels?
Well, if there's a new shiny toy that TBW
That
has, and that's
Tri-State
the
Championship there.
Tri-State Championship. It's a pretty looking title, and I don't know if the trend stands correctly, Tom. That anniversary, I had a championship match for the Internet Championship against the Angelo Flame.
Yes, you did.
The next
Opening match.
The next event was Rebellion, and I had a world title match against Jay Wild, the main event.
Man, you hold a pinfall over. Yep.
So if the trend stands correctly, maybe and hopefully I can get myself into that TBW Tri-State Championship elimination match at Summer Bash.
That would be interesting. That would obviously mean gold. That would mean a new level. You're an anime guy, Alan. That would certainly be a new trend for you. That would you be leveling up to one of your favorite anime characters, and doing something to solidify that you're a top guy for years to come in TBW by winning a championship. We've seen you here over the past year and a half, be a guy that's kind of hung around the main event scene, a guy that's hung around and has been in match after big match. But winning a championship potentially, that solidifies that maybe good guys or great guys who do it for the right reasons, maybe they can win gold. And maybe they can show that by doing it the right way, you can be successful in this circuit.
100%, Tom. And the championships have really been the only thing that's been eluding me. I mean, I have wins over the likes of Atomic Titan. I have a pinfall victory over the TBW World Champion Jay Wild.
Joe Anderson, you defeated a former world champion as well.
Defeated a former world champion in Joe Anderson. I mean, the list goes on. I've had main event matches. I mean, you can almost call me main event Michaels at this point.
I'll tell you what, this year you have been a guy that's hung around this scene. Yeah, I mean, you've been a major player this season. There's no question. D'Angelo the Flame, that match that everybody talks about, the greatest show in the backyard wrestling circuit's history, Anniversary 7. I mean, thousands upon thousands of people watch that. You have been a top guy now. I mean, we famously last year, remember your famous wars with Shane Davidson and, the Staying Trendy segment with Gage Flair. I mean, you've had big moment after big moment. No question about it.
Yeah, it's just exciting, man. And to hopefully be able to have another opportunity to capture gold. It'll be 3 events, 3 championship matches if I can get in. And the one thing that's eluded me, man, is that gold.
You don't want to be the San Francisco 49ers, lose, go into 3 Super Bowls, right? The last 5 years, is it 3 Super Bowls in 5 years and, not win. And it's actually, it's 2 Super Bowl appearances, then 4 championship game appearances. You don't want to go into that route. You don't want to be the Buffalo Bills. You don't want to be teams like the Green Bay Packers the last several years.
Whoa.
Your Packers. Yeah, you know what? Aaron Rodgers, since the 1 Super Bowl, hasn't gone back, right?
For MVPs, man.
Yeah, right. So now we're going to shoot, right? Shoot time won the NFL. People were like, I didn't think that was what he was going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about, obviously, the Green Bay Packers. But the point is that, listen, you could think about teams, and we talked about football, right? The 49ers, arguably the last 5 years, right? They've been maybe right up there with the Chiefs as the best team in the NFL, but yet they've been to a couple Super Bowls and haven't been able to get the job done. You think about it again, 2 Super Bowls, 4 NFC championship games, and not win. That's an example. If you get a championship shot at Summer Bash and go 0 for 3, I mean, we have to think about having that conversation. Is Alan Michaels a Cody Rhodes up until he won the big one? Are you a guy like Bentley, for example, who's in our Sportswire Radio Hall of Fame, who's returning next month? He had like 7 championship matches until he finally won the big one. I mean, so if you get there, you're going to have to make sure you deliver on it.
Oh, for sure. So I'm planning on it.
Well, we'll have to find out. Let me get to some comments here before I get to, I'm sure, what people really want to hear. But I'm enjoying TBW coverage, and I can't wait for 168 one more time this Thursday, 8 o'clock Eastern time, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. It's always important. I have to mention the Eastern time because, Alan, as you know, I'm in Eastern time. I'm in New York, so I have to remind myself it's 8 o'clock Eastern time, whereas the rest of you guys are on Central Standard Time. But boy, do I pity the people Pacific time zone, 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. But I want to say hello to my good buddy, the Tribal Cheese, of course, the Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. Man, I mean, he is like up there with James Taylor and TikTok followers, YouTube followers. He just goes everywhere. He's on YouTube, Instagram. He's got like 30,000 views here, 100,000 views there. He meets everybody, all the celebrities. They hobnob with him. He is Mad Manx BCA autographs. He's Big Cheese Logan on TikTok. Go follow him. Go support him. He has been one of my longtime friends on this platform, and they will be fired soon. Our buddy and my buddy and your buddy, Randy Dillon, is the back door locked. Yes, confirm one more time. Check the back door.
It's 100% live.
Okay, well, I'm going to not talk about the back door anymore because I could say the back door about, maybe some females, but we'll leave that at that. We want to make sure we know that we have the females listening here. We have the misses in the background. We have other people out there, and we want to make sure we stay trendy, but stay family trendy. Family trendy, get it family trendy. Oh, but yes, hi to Shane Davidson. Yes, congratulations, Shane Davidson. Want to say hello to my buddy, Mr. Il Drago. Il Drago, just what an awesome guy. The Samoan Dragon from our friends in the IMF. They just had a very successful show, All Out Warfare, which had a slew of stars. Jason Storm was on it. I know D'Angelo the Flame and Drake Golddragon were advertised on it. I haven't seen the show yet, so I don't know what happened, but hopefully everybody had a great show, and I'm doing great, and I'm happy to be called an Uso. But yes, all wrestling matters. Really, these are the Usos. These are the Usos. These are the Usos right here. Look at these guys. These are the Usos. Me, nah, I'm no Us. These are the Usos here. It's like, what, 3:30 your time? Have I seen any new films? Well, I think what I want to see this weekend, I'm going to finally get a chance to go to the movies, is the movie I really would like to see is Deadpool. That's the movie I'm interested in most, Deadpool and Alien. But did anybody see Deadpool here?
I have not. I want to.
I'm waiting until it comes out on Disney Plus. That's free.
I see. I have my AMC movie pass that I pay the $30 a month for, and I haven't used in 2 months. But I will have to see it because I should have time. But what movies have you seen without spoiling it? That's a good question. We always like to have some fun ones. Yes, hello to Il Drago. Mr. Allen, of course, your boss there, Mr. Alan Michaels. Your former boss, maybe who knows down the road what happens, right, Shane Davidson? Let's move on and say no comment. Andrew Clay and Beast were brainwashed. Well, I don't know if Beast was brainwashed. I think Beast made a deal. I think he made a deal. Correct me if I'm wrong at the end of last season, but Chaotic was the only one forced into joining by losing to his father. Yes, that is a very good point. Very good point. Yes, I agree with you on that. Mac 10's in the house. Yes, Mac 10. How you doing, Mac 10? I think I might be seeing Mac 10 in person real soon. Yes, we're here. Hi to Mac 10. Trap is a dud. Okay, Trap is a dud. What about, did you see Alien Romulus? And I think the last movie I saw was I saw the new Bad Boys movie, which was like 2 months ago. What about Twisted? Have you seen Twisted? Well, let me know what you think on those movies, and we'll see. Now, anything else you want to share TBW related before I think I get to the topic that I'm sure a lot of people are going to be wanting to hear you talk about soon? Yes, sir. Talk good. Floor is yours.
I want to do something that I haven't done in a while. I want to give credit where credit is due. Alan Michaels, you have came a long way. And from a former foe to turned friend, I want to say congratulations on what you're doing in the ring.
Well, it's so nice of you to say that because he went from a foe of yours, an adversary, to now an uncle. I mean, wow, uncle. Wow. But you guys think about how things have changed just months ago, right? I remember last year on this platform, not even a year ago, you guys were on here and you interrupted each other and you came on here. And this was the feud at the end of last season everybody was talking about. But yet here we are. And look at how far you've both come, and Alan Michaels is now an uncle to Rowan William. Boy, what you never know what the world can bring. What a crazy world we live in. Welcome to 2024. Anything else anybody wants to add on that, or we're just going to move on?
Let's go ahead and move on, Tom. I think it's time for the meat and potatoes.
No, thank you. Nothing. Okay.
I said thank you.
He did say thank you. Actually, he did say thank you.
I did.
He
I said
laughed.
very low.
The gentleman laughed. He laughed. I'm going to give him a pass. But meat and potatoes. Now, obviously, I don't think this is going to be about having some meat and potatoes. I haven't had any meat and potatoes in a while. Maybe that's why I'm always here on Sportswire. Is basically looking like a stick every time. But no, I eat. Don't worry about it. Trust me, I eat. But obviously, Alan Michaels, there is a reason you wanted to have a microphone here tonight. And I was wondering, for those that are listening and watching here in prime time, the brightest lights, the biggest stage, the only platform where all wrestling matters, Alan Michaels, the trendsetter, pull the trigger.
Okay, before I start this rant, I just want to preface this.
Yes, sir.
I have absolutely no beef with anybody in the backyard.
I thought we had beef.
No beef. There's no beef.
It's what's for dinner.
I have absolutely no beef with anybody. And what I'm about to say it honestly goes to the entire backyard scene that we have. The backyard scene we have in America. I'm not too familiar with the overseas backyard scene, but I know that here in America, a lot of issues we're having it's really a respect thing. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna shoot a little bit here. I'm gonna go a little bit. I'm fully out of character. You know, wrestling is a passion of mine. Wrestling is something that helped me in a really dark time. Wrestling is something that I take very near and dear to my heart. But at the same time, I am a amateur backyard wrestler. It is at most for me a hobby. And it is a hobby for 95% of the backyard scene.
I agree with that.
I work a 40-hour job. I work 5 days a week.
Yep.
I take time. I personally drive 2 hours from my home to TBW. I take my own money, put in gas. I get paid $0 from TBW. $0 at all. I get paid nothing for this. I do this because I love the sport.
Amen.
And that's the key word here. I love this sport. I respect this sport. And I feel like a lot of the backyard scene has lost that actual love for wrestling. All it is right now is just everybody cutthroat for views. Everyone wants to air out dirty laundry. Everyone wants to come on here and they'll start an issue, or an issue will get started. Wrestling is supposed to bring people together. Wrestling is if I go to a different locker room, I was taught when I was trained. I'm 100% professionally trained, done deal in the books. You respect your workers. You know, if you're a worker, you respect them, you talk to them, you shake their hand. This is how it's done. I know this is an amateur backyard scene. A lot of people haven't been trained, or a lot of people don't know the ins and outs. But at the end of the day, I respect my fellow workers. I'm not going to come on here and bash anybody. And that's my thing. A lot of bashing's been going on. At the end of the day, we have to step out of the characters that we play, set our egos to the side, and act like adults. A lot of these things can be resolved with a simple conversation. Be an adult, act like an adult, and step away from the character, step away from the ego, strip everything down, because at the end of the day, that we're all human beings. And I honestly feel like the backyard scene is looked down upon on a independent level, on a professional level. It's looked down upon, and it's because of little things that if we came together and worked on as a community, that we could help fix this stigmatism of backyard wrestling. Because at the end of the day, I've been in the indie circuit, and I'm going to be completely honest. The backyard scene's 10 times more fun. And the thing is,
1,000%. I had an indie wrestler, before you continue, I had a British indie wrestler who the Tribal Cheese knows. You know what he told me about backyard wrestling? Because he was asking me, I haven't seen you cover British independent wrestling in a while. And I said, well, I said, it's the backyard wrestling circuit. I said, I feel like we're a community. I feel like despite a lot of the things you're going to go continue in, I said in the independent wrestling scene, there's none of that. There's no anything. And he said, yeah. he said the backyard community has far more of a devoted community and a devoted base to it than indie guys, because indie guys really, for example, without saying names, I had an indie wrestler come on here about 4 days ago, 4 or 5 days. You can guess who it was. And he didn't really have a following. He was like, it wasn't as fun as having a backyard wrestler on here, because a backyard wrestler knows how to promote themselves. They know they have a base. And unfortunately, indie guys sometimes come on here and they don't draw the same reactions. Like you talked about views. I mean, if we're going to kick the ballistics for a second, they don't draw the same views as backyard guys on Sportswire. They don't. They
don't at all.
They don't
at all.
I have some of the best indie guys that have come on here, and they don't draw that many views. I had a guy overseas who could basically wrestle a WWE-like match. He drew, 40, 50 views here? I mean, look, reality is that there are guys that come on here, and Dean Allmark is one of the most respected wrestlers in the British independent wrestling circuit. The last time he came here, 50 views, 55 views.
Thank you, baby.
That's just the reality of it is. But go ahead, continue.
What I'm trying to get at is there's so much talent in the backyard wrestling community, and I feel like we're all divided, and we're all divided with our own reasons. But
we are. I agree.
This back and forth, going on social media, bashing one another, what does that lead to? Ultimately, it leads to nothing. Because, you'll get a spike in views, sure. But it's not, you're going to have to keep creating controversy to keep racking up your views.
And it makes somebody look unprofessional.
Well, it's what I want from the backyard community is to just be more of a community. And right now it's not a community. You have so much ego.
Well, look at what went on in ESW. Depending on what you believe and what's not to believe, I mean, it's embarrassing. I mean, there are people on one side, the other side, and I got to be honest. I mean, I don't have any interest in any side on that because, to be honest, Austin G came on here and, I mean, I didn't like him. I didn't personally like him. I don't really care whether it's a work or not, whatever it is. Osiris has been here a couple of times. I happen to have liked him, but that's an example. ESW is the biggest example right now. We've seen what's going on with Xavier Thorne and, and different. I don't want to get into names, but everybody's got a problem right now. We're more divided by the day. It's this person said this and that person said that. And, it's just, look at Summer Bash, right? There was some people that loved Summer Bash. Other people didn't. I mean, there's promotions that come on here and there's different things. But at the end of the day, we're killing what are we killing each other for?
That's what I'm saying. Like, we're just so divided as a community, and it's honestly getting worse. I mean, it's kind of sad in a way. You see so much potential, and you see it wasted and squandered, or not wasted. Let me rephrase that. You see a lot of talent that for a fact can be something really special, but they're being held down by their own, either albeit ego or something like that. There's just so much potential that could be used in the right way if we can just all come together. At the end of the day, we're all adults here. I mean,
and it's honestly, it's an abomination. It's an abomination that one guy's fighting with this guy, another guy's fighting with that guy. I mean, we talked about that one Fed, and I mean, I don't even want to go down that road and to even ponder. And it's just, to me, we all got to stick together. I mean, at the end of the day, to me, even for example, there was a poll done by BYW Hub, and people rate. It was a rankings thing, and some people loved it, other people didn't, and some people on the platform here got mad, but really, who cares? I mean, polls are subjective, rankings are subjective. If you like one Fed, that's fine. you should be able to go and invest the time that you want. But I mean, to me, it's just by the day, we're firing shots at each other for no reasons, when really we have the numbers. I mean, we actually, in the backyard, in the underground circuit, we have the numbers over the indie people. Indie people, listen, Aaron Blaze, you can say whatever you want about Aaron Blaze. He said it, which he's correct on one thing. On this platform, right? Everybody from the backyard, the underground, the pros, and the independents. And if you want to throw podcasters in there, guys that do podcasts, let's throw them in, right? Let's all blend them in, right? This is the only platform where everybody blends. We're basically a community within that, right? And there are some people that come on here, and you could tell who's supported. And, there are other people that come on here and they don't have that same engagement. And I think the moral of the story is that we, in the backyard circuit, and to a lesser extent the underground, you could definitely throw the underground, and this is kind of that weird thing. And all too often, we're the ones that have the numbers. We're the ones that really collectively should just be together. And, I think that's the whole thing about All Wrestling Matters, really. 80% of the time on this platform, if you really think about it, Alan, I'm glad you brought this up. I know we have a lot of comments. I know I can see people getting into this now. That's what I try to do with using my post every day for open collaboration, bringing people together, bringing things that we would not have had if it wasn't for this platform. Again, I don't want to take credit for that stuff. It's not about me. It's people that chose to want to be here and work with others. But the facts is that we should all be collaborating and working together. But it seems to me lately that this guy's on this live, that guy's on that live. This guy didn't work that place. That guy didn't work the other place. This guy had a belt, the other guy that had a belt. But the facts are, we in the backyard, we're the ones that know how to work the YouTube algorithms, right? We're the ones that get the views, right? We're the ones with the subs. We're the ones that people come into every time I'm here in a chat, right? A backyard guy comes here, chats through the roof. I get an indie guy on here. Few people want to see who I'm talking to. All right. Hardcore guy comes on here. Hardcore hit or miss. The hardcore guys are hit or miss. I think people kind of see them in the backyard. Some of them are. I'm going to come back to you in a second, I promise you. But the facts are, is we in the backyard circuit, right? The backyard wrestling circuit. I mean, we're the people that we have the support. We've built this thing, and in some ways, at times, we're shooting each other for what? You want to say something, Shane? Go ahead.
You brought something up. You said hardcore wrestling.
Hardcore circuit, yeah.
Yeah. People that know how to actually wrestle that do hardcore, that's the kind of wrestling I like, the hardcore wrestling I like. And you already know my hot take. Alan Mikaels already knows the hot take I have with hardcore wrestling. And it's gonna probably offend some people, but if you only do hardcore death matches, you don't know how to wrestle. In my opinion. That's just my opinion.
Well, I mean, obviously, I do think that the hardcore wrestlers do a lot of other things, but I think that they're, obviously, I think the guys that come on here, I definitely, Jesse Daniels was talking about that, who was in Resurrection, and he just worked a wrestling match, and a lot of the guys all do that. Now, obviously, there are wrestlers that have different styles, and they might be known for that, but, I think that there's no question that there are obviously wrestlers that want to be here. And, really, we are about All Wrestling Matters, and we should really all be together. And I don't know sometimes why we have what's going on, but it's like anything else, unfortunately. It's like anything else. There are problems in everybody's family, but I guess the best thing I could say is we all need to take a step back, and we're all on the same team. I shouldn't be going out and rooting against somebody because they do something else. I think that's what's happening. I'm not saying that, we're doing that here personally, but a lot of there's a divide, and unfortunately it's kind of what you're talking about, right, Alan? Or am I missing something?
No, it isn't. And I can almost pinpoint what the issue is.
Tell me.
a lot of I know that with TBW personally, there is such thing as locker room leaders,
Mhm.
guys, veteran guys who can take the young people under their wing and show them how the business works. I'm 23 years old. I'm not an older guy by any means, but we have people in the locker room who are locker room leaders who can be like, hey, don't do this, don't say this is what you can say, keep it professional. Like, we have guys who take that responsibility and show this next generation of wrestlers or these younger guys how to conduct yourself as a wrestler, as a performer. That's what I feel like we're missing here is
So how do we fix that? So you're saying that we don't have locker room leaders. How would you address that from your vantage point? You've been in the indies, you got a little bit of experience. What would you do to address that?
I would just say, if you have a locker room, if you have experience, take that initiative. There needs to be a locker room leader, someone who, if things can start going wrong, they take responsibility, they get it worked back up. I mean, the process that goes on at TBW. I mean, we have multiple people who take on multiple different roles and who
Mhm.
play vital parts of the product, and it's honestly really just it's something special, man. That I feel like a lot of locker rooms are missing. I mean, we can't get defensive, start arguing back and forth. That's not going to accomplish anything. All that's not going to accomplish
Would
anything.
you consider yourself a locker room leader?
I really wouldn't.
Okay.
I've been in the wrestling business for a couple years. I mean, stuff. I mean, I have a little bit more experience than some of the guys, but at the end of the day, there's people who've been in the business longer who's take it, upon themselves to really, be like that older brother type person to someone who really helped them out. I mean, there's still people who I go to if I have an issue, if I have a problem, I can go to them, and I know that it's going to be taken care of and handled
Do
accordingly.
you feel that on this platform that there are guys that are locker room leaders on here? Do you feel that there are locker room leaders that come onto Sportswire? What
For
would you?
sure, I can definitely tell that someone like a Omen Black is a locker room leader for his locker room. Someone like Sean Jovi, yeah, someone like a Ronnie Brady, for example, would be a
Yes.
locker room leader for Resi. You can definitely tell who has that. And the locker room leader for REW is kind of hard to tell. A lot of those guys can be locker room leaders. CJ Black, you have Jason Storm, Jack Delta, of course. You have those guys who's been around the game for a while. It can definitely help the younger people really
Do
get.
you think that there should be an Oma Budsman more or less in the back? What an Oma Budsman is basically somebody that's almost kind of like a middle person, almost like somebody that I don't want to say they're in every locker room, but somebody that can maybe help with these problems or maybe stem the blow a little bit or stunt the blow from what we've seen. Because obviously, look, without you guys can say nothing on it, but it's well documented right now. We've seen what's happened in ESW. Xavier Thorne and Resurrection. Aaron Blaze and Xavier Thorne have gone back and forth with it. I mean, we've seen, a lot that's going on in different places. I'm sure I'm missing a few things, but there's been a lot. We saw, even, some people have opinions on Jackson Law and some things he said here on this platform last month. And, there's a constant time and time thing that what goes on and really what it does. And again, I'm not looking to take sides on any of these things. I'm not looking to bring that up into it, but what it does is that it takes away from almost the success that we all should be having, right? Because shouldn't the whole idea be to increase engagements, get more subs, get more views, get more people interested in our products? I mean, because again, really, all wrestling matters is about open collaboration. And it seems like right now, there's places or people you say, well, I don't know if I should work with them because I don't know if I'd be welcomed in that locker room. Do you think that's a fair statement that there are places right now that people are a little bit apprehensive of about going into those locker rooms?
I definitely have heard some things like that, and that's when a locker room leader is needed. Someone who's going to, stand there and be like, "Hey, guys, this person's coming
Like,
down.
I got to be honest with you, ESW, I wouldn't want to go into that locker room right now. I mean, I'm not a wrestler. I could say I wouldn't want to go there. I wouldn't want to because I don't know what I believe in there. Like, not to have you guys take a side on that, but I would want to avoid that place with a 10-foot pole.
When it comes to somewhere like ESW, if the allegations are true, I would always be someone to lend a hand to someone like Austin G or to a company like that, because the way that Austin G explained it, and if you are taking his side, I personally, as a wrestler, as a worker, I feel for all those guys.
Yeah, I agree with you, because the fact that we even have to think about, is it a work, is it not a work? And I got to be honest, Austin was here, and I don't think he was that well liked by the people that come on to this. Your peers, I don't think liked him a lot. I mean, look, I gave him an opportunity. I think he was here and he presented his things. I think I was less usual as I am on here because of who he was. But I don't know, honestly. I got to be honest. I mean, I feel like sometimes I am a referee or an ombudsman on this platform, because there are people that come on here and I don't know what to say. I mean, because I think that, like, there are a lot of situations right now that people don't know who to believe right now. People don't know. And I think the content, what do you, not to ask you about that, you're so focused in TBW, but there are some feds right now that are struggling with their products. I mean, look at the whole UWA thing. I mean, people have just been, that's a whole thing, like Aaron Blaze spoke about the UWA situation. And there are people there that love UWA, and there are people that don't like UWA. I mean, I don't know.
Here's my take on Austin G. I know that as of, especially right now, he's not the most liked guy, as a peer standpoint. But you have to really look at it from Austin G's point of view. This guy grew up in the backyard wrestling scene. I mean, him and his brother and his best friends made something so special and became, it was a part of my childhood. It was a part of Shane Davison's childhood. A lot of these
people,
guys.
There's no question. I see the people that like his post on Instagram.
I mean, he was thrown in the spotlight from a young age.
But Jimmy Controversy comes on here, and he's got more followers than Austin G, to be honest. And he comes on here, and he doesn't show that type of style. I mean, to be honest, Jimmy Controversy's from GTS, right? GTS is a bigger product than ESW. GTS guys come on to Sportswire. Rad Dad's coming on here in 2 weeks. I think Rad Dad, I have far more, with all due respect, I have more respect for Rad Dad than Austin G. I'm not taking anything away from what Austin G did, but Rad Dad's a part of GTS.
100%. But you also have to look at it. Jimmy Controversy was a full-grown adult by the time he started getting that popularity. Austin G was a kid.
Yeah, but I think, maybe you could say that, but I don't look. I don't know enough about the situation, but I think the fact that we're even having a conversation about these things, I think you're right in the sense that ultimately we should be focused on what our products are, what our companies are about. But there are, to be honest, guys, like, if we're going to go down the road, Austin G didn't show any. Did he ever work with TBW?
I don't believe so. Not.
Did he
I
ever
know
work with any other federation?
I'm not 100% sure.
And that's why a lot of people feel like with him as an example, and there's no question. Listen, I'm not taking away anything about his product and what he's done, but he didn't show open collaboration. Is he really all wrestling matters? I think there are a lot of feds, the infighting. Yeah, I think they're on our team, but I don't know if he's on my team. I don't know. And he doesn't have to be. He can do whatever he wants. He's a human being. He can do anything he wants, but I don't know what to believe. I don't know what to believe on that.
I completely get what you're saying, but at the end of the day, I think this all comes down to supporting each other at the end of the day. I think instead of us talking about this whole ESW situation in a bad light, I honestly feel like we should try to turn this situation into helping fellow workers.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with you on that. There's no question that this should be a learning moment to say, hey, what's going on right now? What are we doing? The fact that these guys are having Instagram lives and they're trying to figure out who's on first, who's on second, who's on third, or even the stuff I'm seeing on Instagram lives with other wrestlers. This whole thing, UWA and Dalton Skull and Xavier Thorne and Resurrection now. And I'm not taking sides on any of that because these guys all come onto the platform. And there's a lot of that. We've seen XCW things. People say different things about here, and I'm not trying to regurgitate that because they come onto the platform as well. And, I think some of it, unfortunately, should easily be, premeditated to stop and avert. But that's kind of, everybody's going to not be on the same page. Everybody's got egos. Everybody's got opinions. It's what it is, more or less.
All I know is that with the whole triathlon situation, there is some feds that I've heard that's a little bit on the rougher side when it comes to the locker room. But if you have a guy in the locker room, or if you are that guy in the locker room, really take that responsibility, because I know without a shadow of a doubt, if anybody would come, in the TBW locker room / backyard, they would be open with welcome.
Well, you guys had C Money. C Money just showed up, right? You had C Money.
Yeah, C Money. We had Jack Delta.
You had a relationship with Resi. All the Resi guys have come into TBW. You guys have gone there. You guys just worked the Resi show. I mean, so we know that there are places that, have that. Let me get to some comments before I get to some other people that want to talk. Let me start from the beginning. I knew a lot of people who want to talk about this. I'm not in the pro wrestling business. I have enough troubles managing this. Thank you, though, Tyler. I appreciate that, but hit the sub button. Yes, a pro promotion's a big sacrifice. It takes a lot of commitments, and I think I'll save that to the real promoters. But let me try to get to 1,000 subs first. We can talk. Hit that sub button for me. Sportswire Radio 6579. Yes, and that's the purpose of tonight. It's not to say this person's wrong, that person's wrong. It's that we're all wrestling matters, and together we win. Want to say hello to my friend Craven Rage? Yes, we all should come together and stand together. And I think that WCE has made some improvements. Alan, you talked about Sean Jovi. Sean Jovi's a locker room leader there. WCE's turned around the last few weeks, I would say, since what happened there. That's an example of a teachable moment. WCE took a teachable moment, and they've improved about it. Yes, there are a lot of egos out there, and it's unfortunate, and, what can you do? The guys who go into the indie scene forget where they come from. I think that it's not always true, but what I think is true is that sometimes backyard guys have an unfair backlash because they came from the backyard. But when the truth is, we as backyarders have to constantly defend ourselves from the guys in the indies. But the facts are, we in the backyard, we're the ones that have more followers. We're the ones that have more engagements. We're the ones that know how to promote ourselves. We're the ones that know how to talk and cut a promo. We're the ones who know how to go out there and be able to go out and stand on our own 2 feet. Where indie guys, they treat it as a job. Alan Michaels came on here about 15 minutes ago and talked about it being a passion, right? Wrestling's a passion for you. You work 40 hours a week. You love doing this. Sometimes indie guys are about how much money am I getting paid and how many, where am I going? Who am I being booked against? Whereas backyard guys, as Hillbilly Tilly says, do it for this true love of the sport and for their blood, sweat, and tears out there. Yes, I agree. Making all wrestling great again, or better again, whatever you want to call it. And I just want to say I can wrestle, but mostly do hardcore. But I think Shane was talking about his experience. Go ahead, Shane, jump in, because Omen's going to come on here in about 2 minutes. So go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to real quick before we even got past that. I wanted to specifically say, like, people that can wrestle and do the hardcore stuff, I don't have a problem with them. It's the people that strictly do like death matches. That's the only ones I have a problem with.
It's mainly the indie scene, if I'm being 100% honest.
Yeah, it's not the guys that come on here. We're not talking about the ones.
We're talking about the indie scene. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to my local indie show and it be like 5.
And you guys were just in the indies, by the way, at the beginning of this year, and you guys felt some of that backlash. And I think that's what you guys are talking about, because I'm going to clarify that, because I know you guys were in the indies very briefly this year. And you felt that backlash, and that's where I do have a problem. I do have a problem with indie guys, ham and eggers, who can't put their shoes together, who can't cut their own promo, and then want to go backlash on backyard guys when, hey, did you remember the Hardy Boys were in the backyard? Hey, do you remember that Shannon Moore was in the backyard? Do you remember that Mick Foley was in the backyard? How about my guest tomorrow, Skrilla? Skrilla was only a guy in Peanut Butter Falcon. Skrilla's only been the guy in MLW. He was a protege from Copper Dragon. He's had a very successful career in the independents. He's coming on here tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. He's from the backyard. Is there a problem with him? I don't think so. So it's all subjective. I think that obviously somebody is having their own opinions, and people are entitled to that. Thank you very much. But we'll move on. Peter Richards wants to say Austin is best for business. Well, his business.
Yeah.
That's his business. Yeah. Yep. You want to say something, Shane? Okay, I'm gonna read.
My wife was talking to me. Sorry.
Okay, let me read this off then. Yeah, Austin's best for business. Yeah, his business is great. Listen, I'm not taking away from what he's accomplished. More power to him. You know, he's had a very successful career. He's done a lot of important things, and I give him all the credit for that. And they haven't been the same since Wicked J. I do agree with you that they've been very successful, and nobody's taken that away from them. Hello, Mr. Chaotic. Obviously, I think he heard some things you said about him, Alan. Let me go to my buddy TBK and Alan's buddy and Shane's buddy. I mean, if Austin is creating doubt or ESW as a whole, if it is indeed a work, aren't they doing their job by having people buy into the drama? But you could also say that to the fact that they even have to think about that making a work. What does that say about their current product that they just put out? And they haven't put a show out in 3 months. In the middle of a season? I don't know. Look, it's up to them. It's their business. They can do whatever they want. There's going to be plenty of ESW fans, just like there's plenty of TBW fans. Listen, there are people that come on here and don't like TBW. People don't like TBW for whatever reason. Look at TikTok, right? There are people that don't like TBW. There are people that don't like any other Fed. That's just people have opinions, and that's the general public. Yes, ESW and 2KW in New York. Yes, which was a backyard Fed that did like stuff on the playgrounds and stuff and things like that. Very ahead of its time. Definitely made YouTube popular. No question about that. No, Cyrus was talking about that when he was here. That I agree with you. Omen wants to say, which Omen's going to be here shortly, it's all the work. If it wasn't, do you really believe that they would have kept that video BS on that long? Give me a break. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to tip my hand in what I know, and but that's what a lot of people think. Yes, WC's made some improvements, and that's one company that, seems like they're on the way back for the first time in a long time. Yes, don't forget that the inaugural PWF champion, Justin Parsley, is a locker room leader. Yes, that's a good one. Thank you. Yes, Justin Parsley is definitely a locker room leader. People are going to have opinions. Absolutely. There is absolutely nothing that can be stopped about that. Regardless, Sportswire is being talked about. Yeah, no, listen. And I think that's the whole thing, is that we're all here together collectively. And, I think that we're having these conversations, and maybe that's a good thing, Al, maybe that's a good thing tonight, because let's be honest, what will we really be talking about maybe it is good to know about it because it's on people's minds, right? We can't pretend everything's hunky-dory. That's not like any other community. There's problems, and why not we tackle them head on? And I think TBK is absolutely right. How about we want a war games in a backyard wrestling? Well, I'm sure Omen can talk about that in his company. Plenty of following or having a following, not the end all be all. There are plenty of terrible people with huge followings who aren't worth the damn. Yes, couldn't agree with you more. Humble is always the way to go, and I couldn't agree. I want to start my own promotion, and I appreciate those things. I wouldn't have the legal advice to get you on the LLCs, but stay tuned. I want to bring on my buddy, Mr. Omen Black. Omen, after what I saw you put your body through yesterday, are you alive? Are you okay? I mean...
Yeah, I'm still alive. I think.
My buddy Ox McCoy was posting plenty of clips about you on TikTok and Instagram. I'm surprised you're here right now.
Yeah, that son of a bitch. I don't want to talk about that. I'm kind of like in a good mood.
You are. So nice of you. How you doing, Omen? What's on your mind?
I'm doing good, but that ESW bullcrap. You can smell it to work from a mile away. Like.
Yeah, I be honest. I don't really care much for them. I got Austin. I mean, I know there's plenty of Austin fans, and I'm not taking anything away from what he's done, but he came on here and he was like the most tone deaf guest we've ever had on Sportswire. I'm sorry to say it. This dude was like, I don't know, just tone deaf. I mean, I know there's fans that they've been devoted to ESW.
Me personally, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of ESW. I'm not a fan of his. I'm not a fan of his brothers. I don't like the product, to be honest with you. I truly just don't. But
listen, and there's people that don't like it. Listen, I mean, there's no denying that. I mean, look, people are allowed to have their feelings on it.
It's like I just never watch. I don't watch a lot of it. Like I just can say I just get bored. But that's not. Maybe that's just me. Like I'm my own person. Like,
and you also
love it.
And listen, there's a lot of great things about them, but I think the general point of what Alan was saying tonight is that, look, the fact that we're talking about that, the whole thing with UWA and Dalton Skull and Aaron Blaze and Xavier Thorne, and we got, we've seen with XCW here on Sportswire, Summer Bash that's gone on, guys like Silver Wolf and guys like Loose Cannon. There's a lot of things. Alan's right in a sense is that, we're talking about these things, but really we should be focused on trying to improve everybody's products and doing the right. I know you guys have been doing it at IMF. Obviously, I know the open collaboration. We all love you here. It's your show anyway, Omen. I know you obviously want to put Silver Wolf on Sportswire, but the fact is that ultimately there is a point in that we're focusing so much on stuff that's outside of everybody's products, and we should really forget about that stuff and try to and work together and just be open collaboration.
Yeah, like obviously guys like these two, Alan Michaels and Shane Davidson, like they're part of a great company. Like I actually am a fan of TVW. Guys like CJ Black and Jack Delta and JX on REW and OMW, Jason Storm, like DKW obviously, and ALW, Big Man Cam and
Judas.
Go on.
Judas, yep.
Even Justin Parsley, just out of character, like love the guy.
Good dude.
Like great mind for the sport. But like, we all could group together and stand for each other and stand for all the bullshit.
But I even hear things on this platform, like when DJ Walbert was here, and and I think Anthony was here. I forget when it was. We were talking about how Fletch wouldn't let people use the bathroom in his house. Like, and it was like, okay, well, we have to like talk about these things. Like, and then you hear stories about guys that worked the show and one fed and were told by somebody else, well, what were you doing? Well, nobody's getting paid for this. Or if you're getting paid, what's the pay? Peanuts? To the fact that we even have to debate that. If anybody wants to go work wherever they want to work, it's their God-given. We have to worry about people going, like Alan makes a good point. We have to worry about going to places and then going there because there's retribution because you worked in the Fed that somebody said something on this platform. I mean, I'm not a dummy. I know it's because I've said things on here or Anthony said things. You said things. James has said things on here. Soldiers said things. And, promoters take it a certain way. Shane, you've said some things. Alan obviously has always been a good boy. He's a trendsetter. He is a good boy, but
he's staying trendy.
He's staying trendy, but the
I'm
fact
staying out of it.
Which I should have been, which I didn't do, obviously, and that's why I'm here on this platform. But the point is that the facts is that a lot of heat does stem from this platform. Guys saying things, no question. I mean, and sometimes guys go and they. Like even Alan said, I do feel it in locker rooms. You know it, Omen. I don't have to spell the companies out within 3 initials. That there's certain 2 or 3 locker rooms, especially 2 of them, coming to mind. Really more one in the Midwest that people are apprehensive of going to. And I hear a whole litany list of things there. And then every time I have to bring that company on, I have to go through hula hoops to promote them. And then they don't promote themselves. And then you have to ask permission to bring the talent on based on the storyline, and then you're told constantly about that promoter. Well, it's who he is, and he's just he's a really great guy, and this and that. But the facts is that we have to debate this in the back of this isn't WWE, this isn't AEW. People want to go somewhere else; they should absolutely be entitled to it. I mean, I think that's the general conversation. Even this ESW thing, we have to waste time on this guy. Listen, Austin G, to be honest, I really could care less for the guy. He came on here. The guy was a jerk on here. The guy was a jerk off the air and on the air. I mean, listen, I'll be honest. Like, the guy's gimmick sucks. He comes on. He's got the girlfriend. Oh, it's his girlfriend. Boy, pretty much, that was obvious. Okay, great. Listen, do what you want to do, man. God bless you. It's America. You can do whatever you want. You can do anything with your promotion. Just like my promotion, my platform, I can do whatever I want and say whatever I want. You know what? And God bless you, but I think people see through that. The fact that we're even debating if that was a work. This isn't WW. Oh, the NWO, the Bloodline. Who's in, who's out. That's real stuff. This isn't real stuff. This is backyard wrestling where those guys, I'm sure, have made so much money in their YouTube channels, and I'm sure they pocketed the money. I don't know if definitively, but I'm sure those guys have made some money off their platforms. And who are they kidding? They're only playing with themselves. They're not playing with everybody else. Who's from TBW and ROEW or anywhere else? Listen, Jake Dvorak and the Surge went down there. They weren't treated very well. That's from their words. They weren't treated well down there. Delta talked about his time there. I mean, so really, why would I want to waste my time and get into an ESW pro or con ESW? They want to do what they stay in their own island. I don't know if it turns into ESW talk, but it's what Alan said,
Exactly. The beautiful thing about underground and backyard wrestling is, it truly is just a brotherhood. Last night during the show, I'll shoot out of kayfabe. Me, JX, and Jason Storm were just laughing the whole time, just giving each other good laughs, poking at each other, just roasting each other. And we got to the point where we're going to talk about, man, let's do a comedy podcast. We're funny. We could kill it.
I see all the groups that are in. I'm in Facebook groups with, Discord groups with. That's all from here. That's to me, we're together. That's togetherness to me. The amount of,
if it wasn't for Sportzwire, I wouldn't have gotten in contact with Jason Storm and JX and Justin Parsley
John Jovi and Nicholas.
John Jovi.
I'm going to say even Craven Rage. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to say Craven Rage, or I'm going to say Alan Michaels, Shane Davidson. I'm going to say James Taylor, Anthony Steele. I'm going to say D'Angelo LaFlame. I'm going to say Jake Dvorak. I'm going to say yes, Shane Davidson. Yes.
I just want to say one thing. I'm ready to squash my beef with James Taylor.
Oh, I would love that because I'm a James Taylor fan. I'm a Shane Davidson fan. So thank you for making me less awkward about that. That would be great because I think that's the point of Alan's conversation. Why should we have beef with anybody?
I can't speak for the whole Xavier Thorne bullshit. I don't
even want to take a side on that. I really don't.
Apparently Anthony dropped something about him. I truly
Aaron
don't.
Blaze has said things. There's back and forth there, and I've heard other things off the air today, and it's even that stuff is just we're all on the same team. We're killing each other for what?
Before I go, I would like to say this. Obviously, I would go up to bat for anyone, even guys like Alan Michaels, Shane Davis, the guys I never met before. But if they need someone's support, I'd be there for them. The guys I've wrestled with or been in a locker room with or guys I've just had a simple conversation with these two, I'd be there at their back if I knew.
And I think people would have your back because, I want to say, because I know there's a different crowd right now. I know there's a lot of comments, but you have been battling your own problems outside of wrestling. And, I think there's a lot of people here that would go to bat for you. You've been going through a lot of things. And you know what? If it wasn't for wrestling, if it wasn't for the brotherhood that we have, if it wasn't for the community, I don't know what the situation would be. I'm glad, like Soldier said, you are here with us now. I'm glad it's still your show and your platform. And I'm glad to the fact that we have this because, there are people that are going through things. Alan talked about his own struggles. I don't know if you know, he talked about his own mental health problems. Ace Reed, I want to mention Ace Reed for a second. Ace Reed talked about the fact, not to make people cry or anything like that, he talked about, he saw Alan Michaels' post, and he talked about that he thought about committing suicide. I don't know if it was suicide, but he talked about something real heavy. And, there's guys out there that are going through things. Mental health is a real struggle. The Tribal Cheese quit wrestling for now. And I think, this is what this platform's about. There are guys that come on here and this is their only thing to go to. And it's a big deal. And, I tell people all the time, this is my people that want to call me in the political world. All they want to do is take my time. I can't talk to you. I'm on Sportswire because to me, this means more to me than some, Angela. Angela calls and wants to talk my ear off about, excuse my language, some BS Russian concert that's going to draw 20 people and I'm going to have to pay hundreds of dollars a head for. I got you. It's great. But this is my people. This is my community. And this is what matters to me. And we've seen the struggles. There are guys that have talked about their own battles and their own demons. And this is why we should stick together. Because Alan's talked about his problems. Shane's had his struggles. You've talked about your things. Ace Reed's talked about his problems. Aaron Blaze talked about his own situation. He talked about his own problems at home. Xavier Thorne's talked about his. Every guy's got a problem. Nicholas Crenton talked about his mother dying on Sportswire here a few years ago. Craven Rages talked about, his grandfather. Everybody has got something, right? Everybody's talked about their own things. And I think that that's important as to why we should stick together, because the facts is that, frig Austin G, frig Fletch. I got to be honest, they're not on my team. They're not. I'm tired. The people that I know, no, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to take the heat for it. Fletch isn't on my team. Fletch probably bullshits about my platform, hates that guys come on here, talks about the storyline and got to do this. And I'm going to have Chris Jones on here. I know I'm going to backtrack. I'm going to be nice. Yes, we love XCW, and I love XCW. Remy Ravitch is going to be here. Justin Parsley's in the company. A lot of guys. But
I want a Parsley shirt, for God's sakes.
But I want to say this: Fletch is not on my team. He doesn't reach out to me. He doesn't want. He really he was a dictator. The guy's a dictator. The guy tells people to not use the bathroom in his property. Doesn't have. I'm sorry. I don't care if you've been robbed 50 times. If somebody drove 6 hours to where you got to go, dude, let him use the bathroom. Put a freaking safe to your money. Take your belts out. Put them in the attic. I'm sure you got an attic. And go out there and let the poor guys who go bust their butts to go for your company, which you can't even promote, you can't even do anything with on social media. You got your world champion can't even talk. Your other guy that is his mouthpiece doesn't even want to come on here. You have guys that on here that constantly can't talk on this platform. I have to baby them, put a pacifier on them, and go talk. Let's be honest. There are people on here, Austin G with his saw gimmick and his yelling up and down. Listen, dude. Shawn Michaels, 1997, it was done 26 years ago, 27 years ago. Seriously, there are guys that come on here and they're tone deaf. So I'm for the people that want to be here. I'm for the people that are in my Discord groups. I'm even going to say it. I am for the Backyard Wrestling Nexus. There's times they get some unfair heat. Even guys on my team say things. But you know what? They're at least trying. They're giving people a safe haven. And that's what it's about. Everybody in their own way that's here wants to give a safe haven. They want to go out there and do the right things. Are there people that aren't in those things? And I don't want them on here. They're not in my interest. It's just like I know I'm going long, but now you got me worked up. It's just like all these British guys that come on my platform and they want to go, I want to come on here. And then what? Have 2 likes on the video, 35 views, 40 views. Yeah. What did you do? That's great. Okay, what's next? I think there are people that want to be here and abuse the platform and use it. And there are guys, I got to be honest, I love Tarzan Duran. I appreciate everything he does in the community and the sport. But how many people really were like, that was great? Serious. I'm not knocking his abilities. I'm not knocking what he's done in this sport. I'm just saying, I'm not knocking him. I don't want to go and say, oh, you said this about, I'm not knocking him. But there are guys that come on here. What's your question? Yeah, what's the answer? Give me an answer. Give me something to tell me what's important. Give me something, information. And I'm not knocking him. I'm not knocking anybody, but there are people that come on. Rad Dad's going to be here in 2 weeks, and he's going to give the community the time. He's going to give you the answers you want to hear. There are some guys that aren't talkers. I get it. I don't want to misinterpret this. He said this about Tarzan. I'm not saying nothing about Tarzan. I'm saying the fact that there are guys that come on here and then you do Silver Wolf's one right afterwards. And you did, thankfully you were on mine first because I was able to carry you in a conversation. But what's the point? No, listen. I mean, honestly, I really don't care at this point. It's my platform. This community's put me and tells me what I should be doing. But there were people that told me they weren't happy with the interview. There are people that tell me, listen, I'm not knocking his skills. I'm not knocking anything this guy has done. I think what he has done is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal talent, a phenomenal worker. Everything he's done in this sport, I give so much respect to. But I'm looking for people that want to talk and be engaging. Eddie Exile, for example, was a guy that came on here yesterday, and I wish more people would have heard what he had to say. That's a guy of an example. I'd love to see more people here because of what he brings to the table. So, look, that's just my opinion, and I'm sure people are like, oh, boy. You want to say something, Omen?
No, yeah. No, I was talking to my son. Sorry.
You're probably
You
like,
know,
okay, I'm going to say nothing on this because I'm a big Tarzan fan. But it wasn't a knock on Tarzan,
yeah.
really.
I'm not going
It's
to get
not
in
a
the way.
knock on.
This is Thomas. Thomas is
It's
talking now.
Well, it's not a knock on it's not a knock on him, but honestly, he came on and it was like, I don't know. I just was like, I'm like excited. And it was like giving me 2-word answers. Like, like I think people are excited to see you. And, it was almost like, should I have paid you money to do the interview? Would you have been that more engaging?
That's debatable.
And there are guys that listen, and I want to break it to the world. There are guys that go ask to be paid to do podcasts. There are guys, wrestlers, Just Incredible, Rikishi. Yeah, I'm breaking the fourth wall. They're open about it. They will charge you a fee to come onto your podcast. Now, I don't think that I have any reason to pay anybody to do a podcast. First of all, I want people that want to be here. I don't want somebody that looks at it as a job. But and that's fine. Listen, I'm not knocking anybody. I don't want to, he said this. I'm not saying anything negative. I'm just saying that, you can go back and watch the interview. What do you think? That's all.
No, you're absolutely right, Tom. But I will say this. You brought up a good point. And kind of piggyback what I was talking about going to bat for these guys. There's people who I wouldn't go to bat for because they don't share the same passion as I do, or as these guys do. Like,
you guys travel all
like
the
a
place.
Silver Wolf and Tyler Arg, like those guys, I'll never bat for. I'm sorry. All wrestling does matter, but like it matters when that person you're talking to has the same passion as you.
Yeah, I think. Look, I think that by and large, 80% of our community is on the same side.
You better have the same passion because I don't know about you two. Maybe you two can answer this. When you step out in that ring, you're not who you are with your fucking problems at home. You're the guy who you want to be.
Yeah,
I'm myself times 10.
That's the biggest thing that we learned in training was that the character that I specifically made, the trendsetter, is me times 1,000. So I get to be the kind of cocky, little bit arrogant, feeling myself, not this depressed, overworked, underpaid worker who's constantly struggling to find the next dollar.
Exactly. When I'm not wrestling, I'm not Omen who doesn't have any problems. He'll laugh at pain. He'll laugh with the blood coming down his face with no problem at all. But at home, I'm just a simple guy with depression, problems at home, not being paid enough, lost my fiance, just a lot of shit. But
we got your back.
That
still.
wrestling
you know what? But we got your back.
Just a safe haven.
But we got your back. There's a lot of people that got your back, and I think that that's really what the nook of the conversation is tonight. That we got your back, and I think what Alan's really trying to say is that, and it's really what I'm trying to say is that I want to have the back of the people that want to be here. I think what he's trying to say is let's get back to basics. Let's forget about the drama as much as we can. It's always going to be there. But let's control the narrative. Control what we can control in front of us. That's the most important factor. Anthony Steele is going to come on, and I hope it's not going to be about, Xavier Thorne, and we're not going to talk about that. What I want to talk about is what the people have to say, because I want to move on from that. That's what wrestling has lost. It's a brotherhood in the circuit. Yes, it's a dog-eat-dog world. It's become similar to the political world. It really shouldn't be that way. And we like to thank you, Craven Rage. Yes, somebody wants to say something there? Okay, we'll move on. I got to jump in.
It comes down to this as well. I mean, we all are backyard wrestlers because at some point we fell in love with the sport. And at the end of the day, what it boils down to is that, we're not full-grown adults when we go out there. In my mind, when I get back in that backyard and I get to wrestling, it puts me right back into that kid mindset of just having fun. I mean, wrestling is some of the most.
We're living out a dream.
Yeah, I mean, it may not be to the millions of people, the WWE and AEW and I can't say TNA and stuff like that, but I mean,
fifties to
But you
hundreds
guys
of
are working
people.
for companies that have gotten thousands of views. You can't see, don't dismiss yourself. All three of you guys, IMF, Summer Bash, TBW, you guys have had a very good following. And I think thousands is very, very, very respectable and proud to be. I mean, there's guys on the indies that, I'm going to say it, that they go in front of 30, 40 people and the YouTube video might get 70 views. You guys go out there and get thousands. I mean, look, I'm realistic. I know I'm not WWE. I'm not AEW. Yes. Is there a niche of people that come on here? Is it growing? Yes. But you guys are the ones. It's always about you guys. It's really about getting you guys. If there's people in the community, the word travels, great. God bless. But let me get some more comments. What did TBK say here? I digress. I've said it before. I don't do what these guys. Everybody's somebody, but he enjoys talking wrestling. Yes, and we appreciate that. We want everybody to be able to talk wrestling.
I want to say something too about, like, when I said e-fetters have the same passion, they truly do.
Absolutely.
Some of them can't do it like physically as we can. Like my boy TBK. Shout out to you, TBK. But like when he was in the e-fed, when I was with him in PWF. That guy in the ring that you saw in the video game, that was him. That was the guy he wanted to be. I have so much respect for the guy. And
Skippy,
TK, he was there for me in my darkest time not that long ago, and I really appreciate him and all the friends I've gotten from PWF and through James Taylor and Anthony Steele and shit through eFed and PWF and.
I'm happy to. I mean, I still own the PWF. I don't know. I think Sean Jovi has something with it. I have no idea, but. Yes, and I think E-Feds are important too. Devin Adams is in it. Anthony's in it. You talked about him, Chase Sullivan in UWA. And I think that's everybody has a purpose. And I think that's what we want to be. We want to go back to that. Forget about what you hear. Let's talk about what's we can control. Even though I'm waiting to take on the boogeyman, let's not go there. Let's not go there. All eyes, Storm, JX, and Omen hate each other. Wink, wink.
Yeah, okay.
Rip, yes, condolences to Roman Reigns' uncle and dad. Absolutely, yes, certainly condolences on that. Speaking facts, well, it's not about that, but James, thank you for that, and I'm sure I'll see you here shortly. I'm speaking facts. Well, it's not that, but I want to, be able to give what's on my mind because these guys brought it up, and really, I'm not knocking anybody. I think I'm viewing Austin differently than Tarzan. Like I like Tarzan personally. I do like Tarzan. I appreciate what he's done. It's just a different interview. Austin, to be honest, he's not my cup of tea. I'm sorry. Austin came on here and the whole ESW thing. And it's not even because Osiris came on here twice. I don't really think, to me, it's really relevant to even. They're not on my team. ESW, they're not on my Discord chats. They're not on my Facebook.
They would never go to bat for any of us. Austin,
no, Austin
Does anyone in the community think that Austin would go to bat for any of us?
No, Austin G, if I was down and I had my last breath, he'd walk right over me. He'd walk right over everybody in this community. Jack Delta included. Jake Dvorak and Power Surge, go ask them. That guy wouldn't do nothing for anybody here. I'm sorry. He's a bullshitter.
I want to say one more thing, too, about the whole video thing. Did anyone else find it weird how Alex just kept on saying he has a penis? Like, he's trying to convince you that he has a penis?
Well, that's why I didn't watch that part, and I didn't really watch
me and Soldier were just dying laughing at it. He's like, I have a penis, guys.
I got
balls. And
to talk about.
I fuck daily.
Yeah, I'd be honest. I could care two cents about what he's got and what he doesn't got. Hello to my friend Rue Widers, and hey, Omen Black, and everyone on my panel. Message stand. Yes, obviously we appreciate that, and thank you, Tyler, for that. Omen, James loves that. Yes, we always got you back. Yes, we got you back too, TBK. We love having TBK. He'll be back here next Friday, most likely because ADT's in the house this coming Friday. So we want to make sure ADT gets a nice reception. We hope to have him more often. We look forward to ADT and his stuff at AWL. More AWL coverage next month. When WC started, it was built for guys who enjoyed and had passion and loved the sport of wrestling. We've been living out our dream, and I'm happy that WCE really is the reason a lot of this has all happened. I mean, WCE was the first backyard company to come on my platform. I was really doing mostly British independent wrestling, and I can't tell you enough how many times I'd be stopped in the street and people would say, I really wish you'd stop talking British wrestling. It's boring. These guys come on here and can't talk. I'm being honest. Like 80% of the guys that have on my Facebook Live, and they'd be on here, and it's Wildfire Nate Reese, it's Bob Costin, it's Jack Johnson, it's Gareth Angel. Look, I love them. They're great guys. I'm not knocking them. They got me to where we are now, but a lot of people didn't like it. I liked it, but there are people that told me they didn't. It's not a shade on them. Just made it back to Jovi's, and I would agree. Sean, definitely. Sean's a locker room leader in our entire community. Sean, he's a true leader. I said it once before, and I still mean it. I am literally sick of some of the drama in the yard. Some people just have huge egos and won't let things go, and that's sad. I just want everyone to get along. Absolutely. That's the whole purpose of tonight's conversation, really. It's not to knock him. It's not even to knock Austin G. It's not even about him. It's not even about Fletch and XCW. It's not even about what's happened with DBW in the past. DBW's coming back on. Everything's good. It's really about just people want to be feeling like that they can just be together. And I think that really, Alan, you're right. The last 2 weeks to me, I think Jack Delta said in one of his stories, it's just like horrible. I mean, it's just, you got to take this side. Can't take that guy's side. Oh, is Dalton Skull coming on? Oh, I got to worry about him because the UWA may be offended. Or, Aaron comes on. Got to be worried about TBW or whatever, in general. It's almost like, to me, for what?
It shouldn't be that way. You shouldn't have to worry about someone going out.
I'm not at all. But I mean, I'm sure. But in those locker rooms, Alan basically admitted it. There is uneasiness in locker rooms sometimes because of this platform.
It's silly though. Like you think I give a fuck if Fletcher comes back on fucking Sportswire?
You think I pays my bills to worry about what Fletch is worried about? Oh, Fletch, the Sportswire has 10,000 members in it, or Jackson Law's mad because Big Man Cam wrestled in ROEW. Like,
you think I care if I exposed me and JX being friends? Spoiler,
my goodness. Do I care about, like, Resurrection Wrestling and Xavier Thorne's spat? I don't care. Honestly, it's not my life. It's not. But guys treat it that way. There are guys that, like, it's like a big deal. It's like, oh, my goodness. It's
that's what I was getting at. This is a hobby. This is a hobby.
We're having fun. There are guys that are going, I guarantee there are guys that are going to go tattletale. Oh, Tom Bryce said that. Tom Bryce said this about this guy. Oh, my goodness. I guarantee it. Listen, I love Anthony. Anthony's going to come on here, and I'm sure he's going to say something. And everyone's going to say,
I'm going to go, guys. I didn't mean to hijack. I got to get up.
It's all good.
Alan,
an open conversation.
A pleasure. Shane, always a pleasure. Tom, you.
I love you. I love you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. English, Shane? Jesus.
What the fuck did I just say?
I'm having fun right now. I know, right, Omen? You could do. Yeah. Well, we're gonna move that on, and I am gonna, I'm gonna have a couple more people on here shortly. Yes, wrestling. Yay, we love wrestling. Absolutely, we definitely love wrestling, and that's the whole point. Honestly, I think that's the whole point of Alan. What you wanted to say tonight, right? We all love wrestling.
We all love wrestling. I mean, I've never seen a group of people love one thing so much that they hate each other over it.
Oh my goodness. It's like, seriously, you can't have this guy on. You can't talk to that. You're worried because this person has an opinion or that person has an opinion. Aren't we supposed to be blended together?
Absolutely.
And we're here joined by Anthony Steele. Anthony, I hope you've listened to the last half an hour. We're not going to have a talk about Xavier Thorne.
About who?
I'm very happy you got the memo. Very happy. What's good, my man?
I'm here. It's your boy Shane. Alan Michaels. What's good, boys?
We're just having a conversation about, like, we're just supposed to having fun, and it's like, it is true. The last couple weeks, this whole ESW thing, Aaron Blaze and Dalton Skull, Aaron Blaze, Thorne, and the XCW drama lingers over this platform, and this guy and that person. It's like, what are we doing? It's like,
you mind if I say something?
You can, absolutely, go for it.
Let me drop a hint. And this Alan Michaels and Shane Davidson. I might be seeing you boys really soon. I might be meeting y'all in person really soon.
Have you guys met yet already? Yeah.
Alan, I think you kind of. Alan, I think you kind of know where I'm going with this one.
Oh, that's very kind.
But yeah, it's gonna be great to finally meet both of y'all.
That's very nice.
100%, man. I'm
Did you
excited.
hear, Anthony, that Shane is a new proud father? Maybe you'll give him a.
I did. Congratulations. You want some hot sauce? What do we got?
Hot sauce, boy, that'll help.
I got the new Deadpool Wolverine pizzas. If you want one.
Oh, you like pizza? I guess you haven't got the memo about Jason Storm calling everybody parasites for eating pizza. Then.
I mean, Jason Storm also don't have no hair, so that means he also don't have no hair on his balls either. So it's okay.
I'm gonna move on that, but thank you for letting us potentially know that could be. But thank you, Anthony. Always appreciate it.
It wouldn't be a real deal thing if I wasn't on here saying something about somebody. Oh, look at that! There's his fucking go-to fucking no good boss.
yeah, he had.
I missed you too, sweetie.
I know you.
I love that chicken post on TikTok. By the way, I shared it. I think I did. I commented on it about the chicken one on TikTok. That was funny.
That's funny, wasn't it?
But go ahead, Anthony. You got the floor first. Go ahead. Yes, Anthony. Oh, okay. Anthony and the hot sauce didn't take the memo of the James Taylor sponsored drink.
Oh no, I'm eating the new Deadpool pizza. It's pepperoni.
That's right. That's right. That's
you
right.
Have to get y'all's at Walmart. Sorry,
I don't have a Walmart in New York City, so eat one for me. Thank you, Anthony.
Well, you can also go get the new Beetlejuice Fanta that is at your local Targets right now.
Okay,
that
I could maybe do. Maybe that I could maybe do the Fanta. Okay, that's
a Fanta. There's a Fanta. What color?
It tastes like carameled apple.
Oh shit! Oh shit!
Ooh,
Dude, you know what it would go great with? Vodka.
I'm not a drinker.
You said what?
I'm not a drinker, so
I know what you are. It's okay.
Yep.
How you doing, Tom? You doing all right today?
I'm doing great tonight. We've been just having an honest, open discussion, really, about like everything in general. Just about this nonsense. We were talking about the whole thing, just not to take side, but the ESW thing. UWA and Aaron Blaze, Xavier, and Anthony, and just like, what are we doing at this point? It's just, to me, it's just.
I'll just say this to get it done. No, he had it coming.
Look, it's what it is. Unfortunately, I'm gonna take no side on it because
I'm like Joe Hendricks. Say my name and I appear.
No, I knew that, but I think in terms of look. But the point is that we should all be just trying to go out there and doing the best we can for each other and being supportive. And what are we doing? Worried about people or shooting on people for what? I don't know. I think it's what Alan's trying to get at. He's not knocking anybody personally. He's just saying in general. I know it resonated with you, James, a bit.
Me?
Alan is kind of my thing. No,
you're great at shooting.
Kind of what I'm known for, but we'll put that to the side.
Well, for a minute, but you wanted to say so. I know, James, you were in the chat. You wanted to say something about all this.
So, I agree. I'm tired of the drama. I make fun of how old I am. It doesn't matter. I just proved a couple of weeks ago that I could still go 100 miles an hour.
You're still old as dirt.
Like Anthony.
Gabe Stayers is coming on in 2.5 weeks to talk about that. Just so you know, James.
I'm just saying. I hung with those guys, and it was fun. Had a badass match. We had a good time. It was fun. And what I'm getting at though is I'm tired of the drama myself. It's like, well, such and such says this, such and such says that. Well, I deserve to be this. Who cares, man? Just go out there and do what backyard wrestling originally is supposed to be. It's supposed to be fun because we all are fans of wrestling. We're all in this because we love it, not because we feel like we have to do it, not just to say, oh, look at me, I'm such and such. You go out there as a backyard wrestler because you have the heart over anybody. At least this is how it was in the late 90s, early 2000s. Every guy that I've ever met, Anthony could be one of them. You go out there because you love this business. You love professional wrestling, and you want to go out there and make yourself known. It doesn't matter if you're champion or not. You want to go out there and perform and be noticed, and you're doing it because it's your escape from reality. It's entertainment. You want to entertain people watching you. You want people to like you. Of course, the popularity and all that stuff comes with it. It just depends on that person. But then I heard what you said, Tom, and you made 100% perfect sense. There's some guys that come on here, they're probably a hell of an athlete, but they can't talk to save their life.
Yeah.
But there's some guys who could talk to save their life, but they can't wrestle nothing. But it's not really just that. It's the fact that these people come on here and they think because they're so great in the ring that they're somebody when they can't come on here and they wait on you to ask them a question like it's an interview, give you 2 or 3 words for an answer, and then you're sitting there like
it's actually annoying as an interviewer. And then they've wrestled Jacob Fatu. They've wrestled, and it's great. Listen, I'm not knocking them, but like I've interviewed Major League Baseball players before. Okay, I've interviewed guys that won the World Series. So like, if we're gonna really go down that road, go on my SoundCloud. I've interviewed guys who played in the NHL Eastern Conference Finals, guys who are in the NCAA Final Four. I've got down there. I have a background in news. I've interviewed 3 New York State senators. I've interviewed a county executive. I've been in that world. But when I'm going to deal with the indie guy that's like, okay, yeah, it's not even Tarzan. It's just in general that like you can't go and have it utter more than a 2-word sentence. You're wasting my time. You're wasting the people's time because people want to hear you to be invested in what you want to say. It's not a knock on any guest, any in particular, but there are guys that come on here and they want to be on here. They expect to get the preferential treatment, but really in the grand scheme of things, what is the treatment that they deserve to be here? And then on top of that, they give you little to no answers. What good is that? It's not even good. It's not even about the community or me. It's about themselves. It's about themselves.
crazy.
About themselves. And it really is infuriating because, you go out there as an interviewer. And you go put the dedication. You don't realize there's 10 lights set up here, 20 minutes. And you got to go do it. I'm not you guys in the ring. James, you can do your interviews and you can talk about, you as a wrestler, you don't have to watch these guys work. You don't have to know their whole career. People come on this platform, whether it doesn't matter if you're Anthony Arias to Anthony Steele. You got to know every single fact. And then when they come on, and they don't really give you anything of a reason. I put the hours time in, and I take time away from my day, and then you can't talk on here. What good is that? That's the honest truth.
That makes 100% sense on why you get aggravated, and somebody like you should, because I would too. You're putting in the homework to give this guy that.
We had Miano Diaz
platform.
here, the XCW world champion. This dude did the interview in his car. Why are you here? Why are you here? If you can't do a professional interview, you're the world champion.
Yeah,
there are guys, and I'm not trying to this again. There are people that come on. I got to be honest. I want to knock one wrestler, Franco Varga. Franco Varga, you don't even know who he is. Years ago, came on my platform when I was just starting out to video. A very well-known independent wrestler. He's done tours overseas. He's actually a very big deal. He's made a career on it. And he came and did my interview, and he was somebody here wanted me to, a British promoter wanted me to interview this guy. He's an American going to the UK. He happened to wrestle a guy I was friends with. This dude did the interview with me, and it was like unprofessional, 30 minutes in an airport terminal. No, we were told an hour. And you gave me 30 minutes, and you didn't even answer me anything. And you didn't even share the link. That's infuriating. I'm sorry. But you guys wouldn't even know. It was 3.5 years ago. There are guys that come on here like this. And it's like, okay, like, what's the point? Why even do an interview with me? Why are you even in this business? And he said to me, yeah, we'll do another one. No, we weren't. Why would I bring you back on? For what? For what reason? You already cut me off at 30 minutes.
I know why. Because of your following, what you've got throughout all your social medias, and they're using your platform to get that exposure when nobody's going to be interested if he ain't talking. That's on them, not you.
No, but there are guys that do come on here, and it's like, and this is not. I know it's separate from the drama, but like somebody asked me this before, and I get asked this. There are guys that come on here and can't talk, and then like, it's like, why come on here? There are guys. Listen, there's gonna be guys. I guarantee you, in the next few, who's gonna come on here and can't talk, and I'm gonna be like, yeah, it was great, but really wasn't.
Know who you are. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's not the 5 people on the stream, obviously, but look. There's going to be people that come on, and it's like you feel bad.
Yeah.
It's like
the way I look at it is this, man. I've said it multiple times, and I know almost everybody on here can agree. Well, the ones that have been in the ring, if you can't talk, you ain't selling shit. You can't sell yourself. You can't sell the product. You can't sell nothing. When you see an advertisement, prime example, when you see an advertisement for Cheez-Its, are they talking? You got catchy slogans. They got catchy like music playing in the background or something like that. And then they're also talking. It's called investing in their own product to advertise to the public. You got to advertise yourself to the public. If you can't advertise yourself, at that point, are we going to buy it? If Cheez-Its just had a thing of Cheez-Its right here and just like, bow, Cheez-Its, buy it. You going to go buy it? Fuck no. You're going to look at it like, what the fuck is that? Like,
guys expect, but there are people that in the wrestling world have this all of a sudden that they feel that they should get the same viewers that Anthony Steele gets or James Taylor gets or Jack Delta gets. And
I welcome anyone that wants to have my viewers. Come meet me on Sportswire Radio. I'll call it.
They're not. You know that they're not.
No, we're talking about. I think Tom's talking about like just having them on one-on-one. Like whenever it's just me and him, the views come in. When it's just you and him, the views come in.
Yeah, there are certain guys that are household
Shane Davidson and Alan Michaels. You can't forget about the boys up there.
I said them. Alan comes on. He gets like double digits in YouTube. He gets them. Shane hasn't been here in a while, but they're not the guys I'm talking about. There are guys that come on here and it's like, I'll do everything I possibly can. And I'm going to have British wrestlers come on here again next month, right? They're going to get 4 people on YouTube. I'm going to try. I'm going to do the best I can. And they're going to come on here and it's like, yeah, you're a pro wrestler. But like Anthony said, you can't sell yourself. You can't.
You want to know the easiest way? And this is going to sound tacky as fuck. You want to know the easiest way on how I learned how to do promos and how to talk shit, basically? I hung out with a lot of ghetto-ass motherfuckers. Ghetto-ass motherfuckers are some of the realest motherfuckers you'll ever meet, and it'd be one of the best shit talkers you ever had in your life. Like, they'll sit there and talk shit with you for hours upon hours and just, like, shoot the shit with you. Like, literally, that's how I learned. I sat down, just fucking starts talking shit, and, like, it's easy to me because I've been around it. But if someone, like, say Miyano Diaz. I mean, that's the best representation I got at this point. Miyano isn't really. I told you, Tom, before he came on, he's not a talker. He's definitely not a talker.
He was pushed on me to bring. He's the world champion, and he came on, and it was like.
Well, what didn't help also is, and I'll give Deanna just a little bit of credit on this, is. When Miyano Diaz was Miyano Diaz, that's all he was. He was a character under a mask that didn't speak. And when he was not under the mask, he was a referee. Still didn't speak.
Yeah, he's a young kid. He's a young kid. I'm not blaming him personally, but sometimes there are one particular promotion that pushes guys to come on here, and then it's like, okay, well.
Why?
I don't know. And then they'll say, well, we want the best talkers only, but they're not the best talkers. And then on top of it, then you want to bring the guy on to come who you want on. And then it's like, there's crickets. I mean, listen, I'm going to say it. Brogan O'Shea was supposed to have been here like 2 weeks ago. And we're waiting for it. He never responded back. Why? What was the reason? I was told he was supposed to come on here. What was the reason? There are guys, again, if it's a pro guy, I give it a pass because pro guys, I get it. Like Tarzan, I give a pass. I'm going to give him a pass because he's Tarzan. He's a great talent, and maybe he's not he doesn't do interviews to this level. I get it. Okay, fine. But then there are guys like, again, you said Miyano Diaz. And again, I know Alan. I know we're on the same page. It's not a knock on him, but there are people that are here and they can't talk, and like I'm forced to bring them on or drag them to be able to talk, and some guys can't get over. I mean, like I don't mean to put it that way. I hope they do. I'm going to try. I'm going to fight like hell for them. I'll fight like hell for everybody. I'm going to do my best. But there are shows on Sportswire that are duds. Just the reality of it. There are duds on here. I think Eddie Exile was a great interview yesterday. I wish more people would have heard the interview. I think some people did. I think it was one of the best ones I did, honestly. But there are some people like James Taylor, Anthony Steele, that people run and flock to. Aaron Blaze, people flock to him because he's a draw and he says things. Jack Delta's coming back in the next week. Everybody's going to be here waiting in a line for Jack Delta. Just certain guys that they draw, I don't know what to say. Ledger Shade was here. He drew like there was no tomorrow,
You're right.
TBW, right? Atomic Titan, whether you like Atomic Titan or not, he comes on here, he draws. Omen and Soldier were here Thursday. You know, every time we got an IMF show for the month, we're getting views because we know that they are going to get their fans out. We know it. But there are guys on here that you are forced to drag them to the water, but they ain't drinking it. They ain't drinking it. I don't know what to say. I mean, look, I'm going to try, Alan. I'm all about open collaboration. I'm all wrestling matters. I'm going to fight like hell for everybody. I will fight like hell for everybody that comes on this platform. But, you know, this isn't even about the politics. This is about there's just some guys on here that just can't do it. I don't know.
And that can come to as a whole, as a backyard in general. I mean, I feel like instead of spending this time arguing back and forth, you could really spend this time, you know, perfecting your craft. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but I can't tell you how many hours I sit and just watch old matches back of my own matches, of other matches, of WWE matches. I'm constantly learning new moves. I mean, I've already added 3 new moves to my moveset. I mean, pulling a blue thunder bomb out of my ass.
We were talking about that the last couple times you came on.
I hit a south of heaven. I was proud of that. On this big headed motherfucker right here.
I mean, it's stuff like that, man. I mean, I'm really taking, and I understand backyard wrestling's a hobby, but I still take it serious to the point of I'm gonna give it my all. I'm gonna continue to train. You know, I'm fully 100% trained. I can get booked at any indie show, whatever. But there's still more to learn. And I feel like that's where a lot of people are getting it twisted. Even Ric Flair being, you know, 112 years old that he is, there's still things that Ric Flair learns to this day. You never stop learning when it comes to wrestling. And a lot of these young guys,
you got to go learn there's always a better musician. I got a lot of comments. Let me read the comments off because people want to say a few things. Big Man Cam is in the house and he wants to say full shoot. Beginning of this year, I couldn't talk, period. I asked guys not to give me mics. I think coming on here, talking to guys like Steele, James Taylor, my work in CBW, XCW, ROEW has helped me. And he's a guy that he got over here. Big Man Cam was an example. The first time he was here to where he is now, I mean, he's become a favorite. D'Angelo the Flame was an example, Alan. D'Angelo was a guy that came on here, and the response was so-so, but he's a darling when he comes on here. I feel like my work is 10 times better than it was this January when I started up again. I went from a silent, brainless big guy who likes to eat pizza, I threw the last one in there, to having a personality, and I like where I'm at. I like the ideas, except for when James Taylor suspends me, and when I'll be able to come back. You need some old clips of wrestling to watch. Hit me up. I'll connect you to Il Drago. I think if you're not in a group with Il Drago, I'll connect you with him. Let me get to some more comments. I think he was talking about the Franco Varga thing because when I shot on Franco Varga, I really don't care. Franco Varga is not coming back on the Sportswire, and I really care less.
That's D'Angelo as a sports.
I was just going to say that.
It is his name, yes. Also, did Shane just have a stroke? That was earlier in the conversation.
Oh, my God.
Peter Richards wants to say,
I was trying to show love, man.
This stuff. Yeah, it's been around. Listen, I mean, I come from the British wrestling scene. There's loads of drama there similar to this. There's people in the comments I wish could bury the hatchet. I agree. I think we all want to be on the same team. And I agree with you, Peter. Thank you very much for that. And Peter went to his first wrestling show in a while. I saw on Facebook. Congratulations. Shane, bro, you sounded like E40 beatboxing telling me goodbye. That was kind of funny. Zilla says hi to everybody that joined. Also, yep, thank you for that. I mean, so, yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know. I hope we all are together. I mean, I don't know. I just hope we're all together on the same page. So you want to guys shoot? You can shoot on me, guys, now. You want to shoot on me?
You got my support, Tom, no matter what. I'm always going to be around.
You can shoot on me right now. I'm giving all 4 of you opportunity to shoot on me.
I'm willing to work, and I've wanted to bury the hatchet with a lot of guys, and I feel like everything. When I went to Resurrection just a couple of weeks ago, Anthony can vouch for that. Everybody welcomed me there. It was very surprising, and
no, it didn't.
I just wanted things to be right.
Well, Shane Davidson said
Anthony gave me a hard time.
If you missed it, James, Shane Davidson said he would like to bury the hatchet with you.
Well, let's talk man to man. I'm right here. Let's bury it because I want to bury it. I want to bury it. I don't want freaking burnt bridges all over the damn place because I'm tired of all the damn drama. I mean, things get said when people get frustrated and upset. But me being the guy that I am, I'm willing to give people second chances. I'm hoping that people would give me second chances, and we just all talk and just get along. Because hey, there was a time when you cut a promo, Shane, and you said the be all end all, and that was kind of my thing. But it was like, oh, I want to take a stab at this, and I just threw a promo out there, and it was fun. I don't know if you remember it or not, but it was kind of fun. I'm like, man, I always wanted to wrestle a really big guy, a guy who's like freaking taller than Anthony. And you're taller.
He's not
than
that much
Anthony.
taller
He's
than
a
me,
little bit
though.
taller than you. I'm sorry.
Barely.
I knew
Fucking barely.
We mean barely.
Hey,
That
you're
guy's
like what? An inch
he's
taller than me?
He's like 15 inches taller than you, Anthony. You look like a shrimp.
Shit,
next to
how
you.
tall are you?
No. I don't think that's not true.
How tall are you, Shane?
I am 6'6", sir.
You're 2 inches taller than me. Wow. Wow.
So anyways,
You act like that motherfucker's Andre the Giant and I'm Rey Mysterio. Calm the fuck down.
No,
in the
he's
backyard,
more
I
like-
am.
He's more like Andre the Giant. He's more like Andre the
Hey.
Giant, and Big Man Ken would be like Big Show, and then you would be like Drew McIntyre. Well, pretty
Because of the
tall.
Claymore. Oh, Drew McIntyre because of the Claymore. I see.
But we
Hey,
don't
we
say
can
fuck CM Punk because I love CM Punk. So
Hey, Anthony, still, I mean, we can always have a battle of the big men. You know what I'm saying?
bring it.
Who was bigger than you in TBW? Are you the tallest guy in TBW?
I
history
am
so
the
far?
tallest. I am the
And Anthony, are
giant
you
of
second?
TBW.
Technically,
you
I'm
second,
bigger,
Anthony?
but
I'd be the second tallest if I go back. If I go back to TBW, I'd be the second tallest.
I'm the
And
biggest.
TBK wanted to say, you want to bury the hatchet with him now.
Huh? What?
TBK said you want to bury the hatchet with me here and now.
And I oop. And I oop.
Well, then let's do that. But right now, I'm talking with Shane because I don't know what Shane's
Yeah,
feelings are
and then
yet,
you
but
told
Shane-
him to do it, and then as he was about to talk, you started
All
talking.
right, let's go to Shane. Let's go to Shane because let's.
Well,
let's
it's
keep it-
because you started talking, Anthony. That's why. You big
He just
fat
started talking
bastard.
after you called me short, motherfucker.
All right.
Right,
Let's go to
right.
our regularly scheduled programming here. Let's go back to it.
Motherfucker over here with your fucking Crash Bandicoot haircut.
No,
Get the
what
fuck out
were
of
you saying, James Taylor?
About
I was saying, things were said, but people say things out of frustration. They really do. I don't hate anybody. I've never hated anybody. I get pissed off. I'm a human being, but I feel like I'm one of the oldest guys on this platform that come on here.
I'm older
And
than you.
I like to say that I am a veteran. I'm not going to gloat about it, but I think I'm wise enough to know a little bit about this business. And just because I haven't had hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of matches doesn't take away the fact that I don't eat, sleep, and breathe this business since I was little. Because, like what you said, Mr. Michaels, I love that idea of what you said. That's what a lot of these guys need to do. Be able to go back, you watch your own tapes, you study them, you constantly studying, you're a student of the game because you want to just better yourself. I'll go back and watch every single match and critique myself. I just did this match with Anthony a couple of weeks ago in Game Sayers. I watched it 10, 15 times.
James.
I'm talking.
You're getting way off topic. You're trying to bury the hatchet with Shane Davidson. Now you're talking about rewatching matches, homie. Bury the fucking hatchet. Let's get this shit gone and on the fucking road. Turn the car around and we'll get back to the fucking route.
That's a good point, actually. Anthony actually was pretty good on that one.
Oh, God damn. You're like a fucking 96-year-old dementia patient.
Well, let's not go that far because we hope that no one gets dementia.
This is how I work. This is how I do. I have to talk, and because I explain things.
Yeah,
so
we
that when
know
I
you
get
love
to my
hearing yourself.
points,
I get it. I understand it now.
I get to the point.
Shane Davidson, your boy. Would you like to have a response to Mr. James Taylor here tonight?
I just there's a couple of things that I do have an issue with, but like I'm a man that I can address situations and talk to you as a man instead of hiding behind a screen and running my mouth to other people about you. I want to be able to come to you face to face, look you in the face, and tell you, hey, I have this problem, but I'm willing to look past it because I respect the fact that we both love what we do in the ring.
And you're a bitch.
Moving on.
Despite what he's saying,
Sorry, that was
respect
to James. You're not a bitch,
So,
James. is.
for whatever I necessarily said to you, I apologize. I was upset at that time. I'm very bitter. I was very bitter over certain things that was going on during that time, a couple of weeks ago, months ago, whenever it was. But
Absolutely.
I never not liked you, Shane. So whether you want to forgive me or move on or whatever you want from this, I'm cool with it. But I respect you and what you've done. So just keep doing what you're doing, and there it is.
I forgive you. I respect you because it's the simple fact that we both love wrestling.
Amen.
That's the one thing that like everybody is like failing to realize. We're bashing each other, but we love the same thing.
Right.
Absolutely. I think that's really what Alan's whole point tonight was. It doesn't matter who you are. You know, we all love wrestling. Are there people that are maybe more talented or more, let's say, better at their craft? Absolutely. But if there are those that aren't, then you know what? If they're not hurting anybody, they're not killing anyone, you know, hopefully figuratively and literally, then let them do their thing, you know, and that's it. You know, I mean, I don't know what else to say. I just, you know, yes. Who wants to jump in first?
Real quick, you brought up the fact that like there's people that are that are better than others. It's called that they put in the work, they put in the time.
Oh, for sure. Listen,
the dedication. Just like me and Alan Michaels, I'm still learning stuff every single day.
I think you learn till the day you die. I think that until
You
you
do.
leave this earth, that you can always learn about something. There are things every day that I learn about. You know, I mean, do I think that there are some people in our circuit that just want to be, you know, what they are? What's that?
Wannabes and know-it-alls.
Kind of, yeah. And then they get called out on it. And then it's like, okay, well, we're all wrestling matters. Yes, I agree on that. But at the end of the day, if they're doing their thing, I don't want to waste my time on them. If they want to do what they want, the viewers will decide on who is and who's not.
I think we can all agree, you know, the guys on here, we love two things. Wrestling and pussy. Am I right?
Wrestling and what?
So what was that last thing?
Wrestling and pussy.
I knew you said it.
Yes,
I heard it.
I
think
think
I was
we all do it a certain way, but I would certainly obviously say that.
No,
we are
like,
not gonna-
I've said
Well,
it multiple times.
I'm not gonna assume sexualities here. So
Yes,
Hey, look, I
Yeah.
know this, even though, over here, this fucking fucktard. I know him personally, so on a personal level, so I can say that about him. And I mean, you just had a kid, so obviously you love it. Alan, I don't know what you love more, Baskin Robbins or fucking pussy, but
Food, dude. Food. It's
but
food's his comfort,
me too.
especially after he lost to Atomic Titan weeks ago.
But he beat him though. Last week.
Yeah.
He did get a
Hey, listen. I lost to Atomic Titan too. It's all right. All right. I lost him, but I beat him when he was world champion. So I mean,
But I still haven't lost to
okay.
Alan Michaels. Haha.
I haven't lost to either of you. So
That's a good point too, and that's why we love our women that we are fans of in the world. And yes, we all love them, and we love some of our favorites. Yes, we love them. We love
the
them.
one thing I've said multiple times on this platform is you never stop learning because wrestling never stops evolving. All right,
Yes.
Everything keeps fucking changing. There's more things added, and there's people like me. I ain't gonna cap. I've been trying springboards. Am I good at it? Fuck no. But I'm gonna keep trying until I do get good at it. Fuck yeah. All right. I want to be a big dude that can fucking jump and do some shit. Like that'd be fucking awesome. It's one of those things. Like James is learning how to breathe through his nose again, so it's okay. But
you didn't see his latest TikTok, which had like 61 likes in 1 hour.
But like, everyone knows I give James shit just to give him shit because it's funny. But like, one of the biggest things that I love about wrestling is that it evolves. It keeps evolving. Because even though you watch, like a lot of people, and I'll say this, a lot of people say in order to understand wrestling, you got to go back to like the 70s and 80s. Actually, no, you really don't. Because if you watch the newer product, you have a bunch of that all wrapped in with the newer stuff. Like, I'll give you a great match to fucking watch. A great feud actually, which was one of the most frowned upon feuds, but it was actually really fucking good. I think it was 2010, Daniel Bryan versus Sheamus over the United States Championship.
Yeah.
Literally was one of the best fucking feuds. The underdog versus the guy that literally got boosted to the top of the card 3 months in. Like,
Sheamus looked good with the big gold belt wrapped around him. Not gonna lie.
hey, 18 seconds. I ain't going cap. I fucking remember that. All right. I'm like, I'm a wrestling mark. I don't give a fuck. But
It's a mark.
like a market.
By
No,
far one of the best WrestleManias in the history of WrestleMania.
Oh, fuck yeah. Rock
Which
versus
one?
Cena. Fucking CM Punk versus Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Randy Orton versus Kane, dude.
Yeah, Randy Orton versus Kane. Ryback versus fucking Mark Henry.
Oh,
Like,
Yeah, I remember
a
that.
very, very slept on match. Like, not even going cap.
Undertaker versus Triple H. Oh my god.
End of an era Hell in a Cell match with Shawn Michaels as special guest referee. Fucking fire, dude.
That was a good one.
You had fucking controversy. You had heartbreak. You had fucking electrifying the crowd. You had everything. Every emotion was
5
wrapped in that match.
stars.
What about
Hands down, one of the
matches?
best matches.
What about matches like Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart WrestleMania 12 Iron Man match?
Yeah. Dude, one that a lot of people like talk about now, but really wasn't talking about. Undertaker versus Bray Wyatt WrestleMania 31.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking Bray Wyatt fucking basically unlocking his inner fucking like dark entity persona against the Undertaker, and Undertaker basically passing the torch to him. Like literally, there's a lot of what a lot of people forget nowadays, and I see it in a lot of people, is they're so focused on whether their character's getting over or their moveset's getting over, or if they have a championship. You don't really see that, you don't see the love for actually doing it showing in the ring that much. You at this point, you just see people that walk out and be like, oh, I'm going to do this, so let's get it done so I can get to the back and, see what's next. And there's a magical thing for people. The person's going to know who the fuck I'm talking about when I say this. There's a magical phrase in wrestling that I take into consideration. And for context, before I say this magical phrase, because once I say this, y'all are going to know what this magical phrase is. I haven't held a championship in I don't know fucking how long. I haven't held a fucking title in wrestling.
Oh, you won the NOCW. You had the title in NOCW.
That don't fucking count. Motherfucker, the dude I faced was greener than fucking goose shit, and I wrestled on a fucking gymnasium floor because they couldn't.
Did you win one after the New Age? Other than that, did you win one after the New Age title?
After the New Age, no. So almost, I'll say about 2 years. It's been 2 fucking years since I've won a championship, technically. Outside of the NOCW First Blood, it's been 2 years. And the magical phrase that a lot of people forget is the belt doesn't make the character makes the belt. The guy makes the belt, not the belt makes the guy. And y'all motherfuckers think that y'all need a championship to make you fucking relevant. Motherfucker, you see how many views I get on here when I step on this fucking screen, and the only championship I got around my waist is a fucking replica title that I bought off WWE fucking shop.
There is no question that, listen, there are people that are on here and draw views, and you are definitely one of them. And if I look like the Geico Caveman, go hit the sub button for me. If you think I look like the Geico Caveman, go hit the sub button for me, because I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs.
Yeah, now. Like, if y'all, like, now,
but hit the sub button for me, and you can come on here and call me the Geico Caveman. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs. I'm almost there. But go ahead, Anthony.
What people got to really understand about wrestling, if you want to make it in wrestling, you need 3 key factors. You need passion, aggression, and intensity. Those are the 3 main factors that you fucking really need to succeed in this bitch. You need the passion for it to show in and out of the run. Huh?
Don't forget charisma.
Oh, and charisma. Fucking
yeah, you need it. Can't
forget about Christian Cage, Can't forget about Christian Cage.
And I don't mean to say it that way because this platform has become that. But, we are kind of a fertile ground, or almost sorting out, almost filtering out who is and who doesn't have it. I think that there are people that come on here and have it and don't have it. And I think that, Shane, you're absolutely right. There are people that have charisma. And I'm not saying that this is like WWE here, but like if you look at our circuit, right? I would like to think that we're like the equivalent of USA Network, or the equivalent of Sci-Fi, or Fox, whatever network is on your favorite.
You're definitely above PG-14. I'm just going to let you know that, right?
Well, I mean, watch the platform, but the point is that
can we get a sponsorship through Netflix?
You can tell like who draws on here, who has that charisma. I think that, for example, Anthony, James, and Alan, Shane's back here. You guys got charisma. I think that Jack Delta's back. He'll have charisma. I think Omen certainly has charisma. I think Big Man Cam has got charisma. I think there are certain people, I could keep going, and there are people that may not get the same reaction, don't get. I mean, it's just that would play a part into charisma. I think the community tells you, and I think Judas is a guy that came on here a couple weeks ago, and he had some real charisma. Look at the views on YouTube he got. That's a guy that has charisma.
See, here's the biggest thing I see nowadays. And correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but no offense, the products I've been watching and like hearing people talk, a lot of people just want to chase championships now. Like they really aren't in it for the storylines. And to be honest, there's a lot of feds that don't know what a fucking storyline is. Like you'll have one thing, like say there was me versus Shane, Alan Michaels versus James. We do this whole fucking little thing where I'm pissing off Shane Davidson to the point where this motherfucker wants to wrap a fucking rope around my neck. And Alan Michaels is looking at James Taylor's big ass fucking forehead that needs a fucking screen protector and fucking telling him that he's a washed up has-been. And then the fucking next week, Shane Davidson is over there riding a fucking unicorn. Anthony Steele's over there fucking doing commentary. James Taylor's working fucking production, and Alan Michaels is sitting there eating fucking pudding cups in the guy in the middle of the ring, and no one's gonna even know what the fuck's going on. Like that's the shit that I hate about fucking backyard wrestling right now. Storylines are key factors in wrestling. If you ain't got a fucking storyline, people can't get involved.
That's the general point that the products, some of them are going through the motions. You want to say something, Shane?
I wanted to add on to what Anthony Steele was saying about don't go in expecting a championship because I'm gonna be honest, I was one of those guys that walked in and into TVW thinking that I can come in and change things around. You know what I'm saying? And then I learned the hard way that hey, this is earned. You can't just walk in here and expect this. And I mean, like I said, you just can't walk in expecting a championship when you haven't earned it. You haven't put in the time there. You haven't put in the effort. You haven't put in the work. You got to earn it.
TBW, I don't want to earn shit. I want to face Shane Davidson and Alan Michaels.
We'd put on a hell of a match, dude. I'm not going to lie.
Well, actually, there could be a title.
With Tom Bryce, the special guest referee.
Well, I have a better thing on that. How about the title being that who would be the winner is the biggest wrestler in TBW history by size, right? That will determine.
You need to add Big Man.
There's no match that needs to happen for that. If he's taller than me, he's taller than me.
You need to add Big Man Cam.
The same height there is, though. We don't know that definitively. Somebody has to do it. We could have a tail of the tape on Sportswire. See who's taller officially.
All right, you need to add Big Man Cam to that mix.
But I thought
Big Man
he works for you, though. I thought he works.
If you want to be technical, it would go Shane Davidson, Big Man Cam, Anthony Steele, because Shane's 6'6". Big Cam's 6'5", I'm 6'4".
Can Big Man Cam confirm this?
Oh, well, me and Big Man Cam.
And I agree that GTS has storylines. Yes, GTS
always has storylines. I'm sorry, the biggest backyard company in the history always has storylines.
I just want to make one thing clear. I don't think any of us, when we're talking about backyard, even underground wrestling, I think GTS is in its own entity. I don't think anybody. I think the line ends after
it goes backyard, underground, GTS, indies, professional.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement because GTS is kind of like the in between the indie, pro, underground.
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I cannot mess with it, and here's why, bro. I was scrolling on Twitter one day, bro, and I scrolled too motherfucking far, bro.
You did
that way. I scrolled too motherfucking far.
What'd you see?
Bro, I saw some shit that I did not want to see, bro.
Well, don't tell us on the air because you're all about Mr.
No, I want to know. I want to know.
This is public knowledge. This motherfucker Grim has a fucking OnlyFans, and I did not fucking know about it. So I was scrolling down and fucking.
Is that what you wanted to tell us?
I did not subscribe to it. I want to make this very fucking clear.
You sure?
I did not subscribe.
Because we know there was an incident with the Friday show. Was this what it's all? This is why you wanted to shoot tonight? Was because you haven't subscribed to the OnlyFans of Grim?
Fuck no. This motherfucker just be posting shit on his fucking Twitter that also has wrestling on it. Like, why the fuck would you do that? Bro, like, make a separate fucking page.
Well, I guess Grim, look, Grim's his own entity, but Big Man Cam wants to confirm that he's slightly taller than Anthony. Slightly. And he also wants to say Grimm had storylines when GTS originally with the figures. Yes. James Taylor, the comic accurate X23. And I wish this could be rated MA or R. No, we are. Sportswire is still a family brand because we're actually on the internet.
It is rated PG-13/MA.
Kind of, because we
There's
are
a thing called
internet radio station. And I don't want to get my radio
After Dark. Sportswire
well,
After
kind
Dark.
of. I mean, we're on the witching hours, but I don't want to get my radio station canceled because I do have a radio station, which we're actually on right now. Also, Stone Cold's
Shout
been
out to the
teaching
viewers on the radio station.
We do get them. We actually get like you don't see it on here, but we have people on the radio who tune into Sportswire shows. They tune into Anthony Steele and James Taylor and Alan Michaels and Shane Davidson, and they tune into. I mean, I don't know, Aaron Blaze. They tune into, let's say, Jake Dvorak. They tune into D Savage. They tune into the guy, the Hammer, Max Strong, the Hammer. That was an interesting one. That was a fun one.
I sometimes tune into Shane Davidson on TikTok when his mic cuts out and he thinks he's talking to the viewers and he's not saying a damn thing.
Dude, I
was sitting there.
Yes, well, considering him having a divorce storyline, he probably has girls doing you know what. Well, I don't think I could talk about that on the air, but I'm sure you can imagine what that might be.
Alan, yes. I'm sitting here on TikTok, right? And I'm scrolling and I see Shane's like live, and it's like 8, 9 in the morning. So I'm sitting here, I'm like, all right, and he's playing Madden.
Yeah.
He's playing Madden. I'm like, oh, we gotta run it up. And he goes, yeah, we do. And then all of a sudden he turns around and then his mic goes mute. And he comes back and like you can see his mouth moving. It's like this. You can't hear a damn fucking thing. And then as his stream's starting to fuck up, he looks over, clicks the button, he goes, I've been fucking mute this whole time. He's like, I'm about to end the stream anyway. So, which also I never got your fucking Xbox info, fucking asshole.
I don't play Xbox. I play PlayStation 5.
Oh, well, then I never got your EA account.
My hero, James Taylor, I follow you on TikTok and love your content. James Taylor is the only face I can like and get over. Also here, Bork Laser, bro. I do want to say storyline-wise, I think we're doing a good job in ALW. Yes, absolutely. ALW just had their most recent show. Yesterday, I slightly tweaked the script, and we have a couple of surprises of people who showed up this Saturday, and I think I'm talking about it next week with Judas. So very happy about that. What else we got? I think I just missed one here. Zilla talked about August 16th, but August 16th passed already. Thank you, Zilla, for that. I appreciate the support, Big Man Cam. Maybe I'll get another cameo right for that, but you're suspended still. James suspended you till further notice. I want Ledger Shade on here. We want our Anarchy King. Well, you want him here right now? I mean, somebody can send him the link, but I don't think he's coming on right now at this moment. But you never know. I mean, would people want Ledger Shade back on Sportswire? It's an honest question. Would people want Ledger Shade back on the Sportswire? Or what would the audience think? Yes, you could ask me. You can ask me
James, you think I can F5 Shane Davidson's big ass?
I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah, because I picked him up and gave him an attitude adjustment. I'm pretty sure you can.
That's true. In Tennessee, back in wrestling.
Shane, how much you weigh?
288.
For the audience.
288.
That information will not be disclosed at this time.
Just say, I'm gonna give you one number. Just say higher or lower.
288. Tail of the tape. The Tennessee Athletic Commission only owns the results, and we love Ledger Shade. Yes, I love Ledger Shade too. I'm glad somebody loves Ledger Shade, but Ledger Shade's always welcome to come back on Sportswire. Anybody's welcome, but Ledger Shade. It was an absolute honor to have him on Sportswire. Are you kidding? He was the Hulk Hogan of our generation. I mean, the man was one of the greatest. He was one of the greatest draws.
Is that actually how much you weigh?
Of course, Ledger Shade would be open. I bring him on right now.
I broke the code, Tom. While you were talking about Ledger Shade, the guy that hasn't been seen in a while, 340 pounds.
But he was seen here. It was what
hey,
I was.
I love my boy. I love my boy Ledger. I really do. That's my homie. But 340 is Shane Davidson's big ass, and I'm gonna drop on his fucking, as James Taylor, his neck he calls fucking.
How much does Big Man Cam?
Whatever the fuck he says, because it can't be no other way. All this.
It's got how it's got to be
in the back of the day. But no,
you better ask Mr. You better ask Mr. Alan Michaels how it feels to get lifted off the ground, because I lifted his big
That's
ass
true.
off the ground.
That was last November. Yeah,
Hey, listen,
more than 340.
I've been
And
lifted
you
off the
brought-
ground.
and then
I-
Anthony
No,
Steele,
no,
you
he
brought up
doesn't
some.
talk shit. He's way more than 340. You want to throw shit
and
at him,
apparently
you bitch.
there's more people that want Ledger Shade
You're
back.
way more than
Atomic
340,
Titan is
big
here. The
bitch.
man that Alan
Oh,
Michaels
he ain't talking about
defeated.
me.
Ledger Shade is the greatest of all time. He absolutely is. I mean, our circuit. I mean, listen, he was the greatest draw. We went from 2,000 subs to 6,000 under his watch. I would love to see him back on Sportswire. I mean, but that's up to him. I mean, he's obviously the greatest draw in history. So, I mean, I don't know. It's up to him. It's up to him. Well, people want to see Ledger Shade. I would love to see him back on Sportswire. Maybe Ledger Shade should take over Sportswire. Anybody want to see Ledger Shade take over?
No, I want to. What were you saying, Shane? What were you saying?
You said you
Atomic
brought up
Titan
something
claims he
about.
was hacked. Was that true?
You brought up something about the South of Heaven.
Yes.
You ain't taking a South of Heaven from me yet.
Ooh,
I
and
thought-
he's not talking about Slayer. And,
Hey, listen. Listen. All I'm gonna say is this: ask James. I picked his little fucking pencil neck heaven ass up.
That's
So,
lightweight.
Exactly. If I
Jimmy
get it so
Controversy
fucking
will
light,
be
you,
back.
I
Yes,
fucking-
that one you can be
Bro.
assured. Jimmy Controversy
I'll-
will be back very soon on Sports.
I will body you, Shane. I will body you.
Mm-mm.
I might be 2 inches shorter and probably about a little under 100 pounds less than you, but I will body you.
See, Anthony, still the thing is, I am Armageddon. I am the end all be all.
Ooh, that's Andrew Lovelace's tagline.
And I am the real deal that keeps it 100 all fucking times of the fucking day. And when I tell you I'm gonna body your big body ass, I'm gonna body your big body ass. And then I'm gonna come for your Twinkie loving friend, Alan Michaels over here, the fucking trendsetter. Or is it the trendsetter because you sit on every fucking thing?
No, he doesn't. He loves Raising Canes.
Dude, Raising Cane's ass. Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's not. Stop.
I like the tone.
Wait, what did you say? Wait, what did you say?
Dude,
He said his ass. Did he say his ass?
He doesn't
Yeah,
like
he
it.
said it's ass. No, it's
Actually,
not.
no. The bread is ass. The bread is dog shit. Oh,
The
dude,
fries are
unless it was fucking the one I had in Ohio, because that bread was dog shit. The chicken and the sauce was fire. And
The
you
sauce
dip your fries
is the only good thing. The sauce.
Bro, no, that
makes
chicken
it
was
make
cooked
it.
to perfection. What are you talking
It's
about?
cooked to
If
perfection.
somebody
but it's not
wants,
seasoned.
well, I got a good one for the audience. Would you want C2K back?
Fuck no. Fuck no.
C2K.
Why not? Would
Show
anybody else want
C2K.
C2K back on Sportswire?
Hell no.
I would
He's
love
got a
to
new
see
company.
C2K.
I don't
and
give a fuck.
Anthony Steele.
No, we don't want to see
Anthony
that in the
Steele,
ring.
C2K.
C2K could be making a
pull up
comeback.
or-
Maybe
Pull
C2K
up
should
or
come
shut
back.
up.
Yeah, that's
Anthony,
right.
pull up.
I'll tell you what. Maybe who wants C2K back on Sportswire?
I want. Hey, Alan.
Anthony, pull up or shut up.
James, I'll pull up to your. I'll drop the Addy right now.
The pull up. That was a legendary line, though. That's a line that a lot of people are using. Did anybody see C2K? I think Zack Attack was on a show recently. I think Zack Attack was on a show recently.
Gross. Have fun with that fucking rapist on your show.
He's not coming on. C2K, he's asking if C2K would come on, but he's not scheduled to come on. Now, Ledger Shade, I would bring on in a heartbeat. I would certainly bring him on. Omen Black said, I'm not leaving the show, but maybe if Ledger Shade and James Taylor are on the show, I'll leave. So let the main eventers come on the show only. I'm no main eventer, but okay, we'll move on here. More comments. Drake Golddragon's in the house. What's up, Drake Golddragon? And this show is Raising My Cane. I don't know what he meant on that, but thank you, Big Man Cam. Is Big Man Cam eating Raising Canes right now?
Definitely
guess
Probably
not.
eating pizza.
No, he doesn't eat pizza. Also, Atomic Titan wants to say hi to the Nemesis James Taylor, and I respect him whether face or heel. How about that?
Hey,
Atomic Titan and James
Alan.
Taylor burying the hatchet. What do you think?
I think he's frozen. It looks like he's fucking.
Wow.
wrestling a fucking
James
neck-
Taylor has frozen because Atomic Titan and James Taylor could bury the hatchet. No?
Hey, Alan, you ever gotten hit with one of Russell Cooper's claymores?
They're best friends right now. They're best friends right
No,
now.
I don't think I have actually. I've actually never wrestled Russell Cooper before.
They've teamed together.
Yeah,
together.
we've only teamed.
What about
Aw,
Atomic
look,
Titan and James Taylor teaming together? Nah, not really. James equals
No, you
dad.
know-
His mom, Anthony, big brother, Shane, little brother, Alan, older brother. How I would make a family. Thank you very much. I appreciate the family stuff, but we're a lot bigger than that on
Hey,
Sportswire.
you know it would be a fire tag team.
Yes.
You know, it'd be an unstoppable tag team.
C2K and Silverwolf.
Anthony Steele and Shane Davis.
I would say C2K and Silverwolf would be my pick, but that's a good one too.
Bro,
And
could
we've
you
got
picture-
Roman Reigns here.
How about this? How about Big Man Cam and Alan Michaels versus Anthony Steele and Shane Davidson? Make it happen.
You don't want to get bodied like that. You don't want to get bodied like that.
I don't think the ring could take that. If I'm being
Cam.
real.
Where is Big Man Cam? Like, is he alive or is he an AI
Bro,
version?
if me and Big Man Cam teamed, holy fucking shit.
Me and Shane Davidson, we got that chemistry though. Y'all, it'd be OV. It'd be OV.
That would be interesting. I don't know. Maybe. What about Big Man Cam in TBW? Does he have a chance? Does anybody in the TBW?
Hold on, wait a minute. Are we talking
love-
about tag teams here? Do you not understand that me and Alan Michaels have been talking nothing about being a tag team for fucking years, dude? We have developed a whole fucking chain of tag team moves, dog. We'll
Well,
fuck
I
y'all
tell you
up.
what. I would. What about You know what? What about Big Man Cam in TBW?
I would love Big Man Cam to come to CBW.
Oh,
I
absolutely.
mean, the
What about
doors are
James
always-
Taylor, the REW
look,
owner,
hey, look.
James Rooms?
Here you go.
James Taylor
We
is
can book it. We can book it. Season finale. Anthony Steele versus Alan Michaels versus Big Man Cam versus Shane Davidson. Book it. Season finale.
And
Atomic
James
Titan
Taylor
apparently
is a
wants
special
Alan
referee.
Michaels versus Anthony Steele.
I'm
Hey,
down.
I'm down.
And apparently,
Hey,
Big Man
what's
Cam
my biggest phrase? There's a lot of open air and
the
opportunity, homie.
TBW universe. Is this true that he's had some talks? Where has he had some talks? He's in REW with James Taylor.
James
Hey,
Taylor's not a good boss. He doesn't have to go through James Taylor.
James Taylor, what, from Rocker 1982? Who's Rocker 1982? Who was rocking in 82, by the
What?
way?
What?
What?
James
What?
Taylor.
What?
What?
I love the poncho videos, by the way. Sorry about
I like
Lefty,
him
by the
too.
way.
What?
I was sorry about Lefty. So sorry about Lefty.
Now you better be careful, Anthony, because I've seen Shane in person, and that guy will be all over you like a folded up love letter.
And Drake and LaFlame, best tag team coming soon, by the way. Ooh.
Listen, if y'all want to have a tag team tournament in TBW, I'm down.
What about James and Big Man Cam as a tag team?
No. What about Shane Davidson and Alan Michaels? Two great rivals teaming together versus Anthony Steele and James Taylor. Two great rivals.
You just said the
I
magic
met James
word.
Taylor with his own move. I'm stuttering him all day
You
long.
want to talk about a pay-per-view? You want to? That's the all you need to do is have that match in TBW. That's it. Just have that one match, season finale. That's it. That's the show. That's the season
Could you
finale.
picture that?
Taylor and Steele versus Michaels and Davidson. Book the match now. Book it. Just somebody make the match happen. Could you imagine the views on that? James Taylor, there would be the Poncho videos on that. Oh, it's Poncho and Lefty. What does Poncho and Lefty think about that video? Anthony Steele, the real deal, all of a sudden makes another reel on TikTok. It goes and hits 800-900 views. Alan Michaels and Shane Davidson write a rap about this. They're going to talk about the Taylor and Steele. They're going to drop those bars. They're going to drop the bombs left and right on Taylor and Steele. Could you imagine the diss song that Michaels and Davidson are going to have on Taylor and Steele? And could you imagine Taylor on TikTok putting out Poncho and Macho? Macho, let's go, Macho. Come on, Macho. Let's go out there and make sure Alan Michaels gets that Stone Cold Stunner. How about it? Oh, I cannot wait.
I think my
Can you
lights already
imagine
do it itself. Look, I don't have to add a filter.
James,
I got my
Stone
own goddamn
Cold Steve
lights.
Austin, the greatest cat father in history, with James Taylor, the greatest cat TikToker in history. Could you imagine
What?
Taylor and Steele in one room
What?
together?
What?
Tag teaming against Alan Michaels and Shane Davidson. Somebody make this happen. I mean, what do we got to do? Do we have to put money into it? What do we have to do? We have a. I got a shirt on. Do I need to buy another TBW shirt? Somebody make this happen already.
I look. How about this? I will make it into a t-shirt. If we can get 20 sales for that t-shirt, TBW has to make it happen.
I have to buy all 20? Oh, you're telling me? I got a lot more comments on this, by the way. The people are fired up. That's the wrong one. I don't care if Taylor doesn't improve. Like I said, he isn't my only boss. Far as I know, I'm suspended. I got all the time in the world to do what I want. James Taylor getting a Taylor Wiser. Oh, hell yeah. Me and Soldier just want to be left out. Why are they left out? Who said they're left
Hey,
out?
they ain't left out.
We could put them in triple tag team. Six
Triple
person.
threat tag team.
Triple threat. There you
That'd
go.
be great.
Me and Taylor would have to have a long conversation before that ever happens. Shane Davidson versus Atomic Titan. Ooh. James
Hey,
Taylor has
picture-
a crush on Poncho.
If we're gonna do the battle of the tag teams that are great rivals, Alan
I
Michaels,
respect
Shane
Anthony
Davidson.
Steele's lights in the background, whether face or heel.
Be
Alan
sure to get your
Michaels,
Broken
Shane
Skull
Davidson.
IPA, the best IPA in America, and that's the bottom line.
Shut the fuck up.
And
I'm trying to
TikTok
promote a
video
match.
coming soon on that, by the way,
So,
from the world's greatest IPA.
Alan Michaels and Shane Davidson versus Anthony Steele and James Taylor versus Soldier GP and Omen Black versus CJ Black and Jack Delta.
And verse Atomic Titan and Manny Cobra.
No, versus Atomic Titan and Gage Flair.
No, Gage Flair and Johnny J. That
I'm
was
not
funny.
getting hit with no Richter scale.
Or how about Joe
Well,
Anderson
you know,
and Jacob Young?
Can I say, as
Yes.
crazy as it sounds, they
James
say
Taylor.
sometimes
No.
the big. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me?
Now we
Now
can.
Now we can.
They
Mr.
say
Roboto.
the biggest of enemies usually make the best tag teams. And I hate Anthony. He hates me.
What he's saying is, I hate that dirty
Together and
bastard.
wrestle
He
as a
hates me
tag
because
team.
he ain't me. But it's okay. It's okay, James. We know
I
you
think-
hate me
I
because
think-
Taylor, by the way, TPW, you and Alan Michaels, James Taylor. I mean, maybe tonight was for a good thing, burying the hatchet, TBW. I mean, is it time for you to come home?
Hey, Shane Davidson, I got a question. What you doing around season
don't know.
finale?
I don't
Wait, say
know.
that again.
What are you doing around season finale?
I don't know.
On Sportswire, hopefully.
I can make my way. I can make my way to Lafayette, Tennessee.
I
I don't
respect
know.
James
All
Taylor.
depends on how my child's doing.
Phone home, James
Oh, you
Taylor.
right. You got.
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
I forgot. You were with child.
Well, Alan Michaels is in TBW, and he might have a championship soon, according to him.
No, because I don't want those motherfuckers to be like, "Oh, you're coming up to a championship." I don't want no fucking championship.
That's if he wins a championship.
I
He has to win.
want to fight. I want to
I'll
fight.
get put in the match.
Well, how about
first.
Alan? How about Anthony Steele and James Taylor? Then Anthony Steele and James Taylor versus Alan Michaels and I don't know, Big Man Cam.
Hey, James. I just got one question. Are you upset about the 2-1 scenario? 2-1.
Wait,
He'll-
no.
He'll
What?
do a Poncho tweet. Poncho.
What are you talking about? The fact that you got lucky and pinned me?
Got lucky. Hey, I hit you with the Claymore and F5.
If it wasn't for Gabe Sayers, you wouldn't have got that pin. But hey,
Oh, if it wasn't
it is
for
what
Gabe
it is.
Sayers,
'cause
you
I-
laid out. Whoa.
I-
You laid out Gabe Sayers. Everyone that watched Sportswire watched you lay out Gabe Sayers. So
And
how's
Gabe
it-
Sayers is here, by the
But-
way, 2 weeks from Thursday. He'll talk about it. September 5th, 9 o'clock.
Respectively, though, I stunned you out of your boots, and I went for the pin, and he pulled me off of you. That was going to be a 3,
Hey, look,
and then
hey,
he
look,
was going to
man.
steal the pin, and I pulled him off. I saved you,
Hey,
and
look, man.
I was
Who's to say I
distracted.
wasn't going to kick out? I was going to kick out at 2.9.3.
You wasn't going to kick out of that, but you know what? I hit you pretty hard with it, but you know what? I was surprised you caught me off guard with that F5. I did not expect an F5, and that turned me out. I was just like, damn. And that next thing I know, you were the victor.
Y'all want to hear a funny story
Yes,
about what happened
Gabe
at the
is one
Rumble?
of Jimmy Controversy's buddies in Pro Wrestling Venom and the UWF and GTS. Yes, Gabe is here in 2 weeks.
Y'all want to hear a funny story about what happened at the Rumble? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if Gage has talked to y'all about this. So we're in the match. I'm not spoiling anything. I'm just spoiling one little tiny spot. Did he talk? Fuck. I'm so amped up right now. I can't even think of the fucking.
And I
name.
agree that Ledger Shade is the greatest, whether face or heel, and I would love to see
But,
him back on Sportswire.
Did Gage talk to y'all about the back body drop that he took from me?
Nah.
So
No.
he comes towards me, and I pick him up very slowly, and just like when I got him in the air, I said, "Boom!" And literally, we go in the back, and he's like, it was like a fucking roller coaster. It was so slow, and then wow! Oh, dude, because I was sitting there, I had to, man. He chopped me in
And
the
speaking
throat.
of people, Anthony, by the way, speaking of your tag team partner, Justin Parsley, who boy, what about what he did to Jack Delta and ROEW this past Friday? Before we get to a few finals, I see Alan's getting ready for the moment to call the match here. But yes, Justin, we love Justin. And Justin, and you and Anthony are getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, I hear, on Labor Day. So I hear Labor Day is going to be a good day there. So looking forward to Labor Day. Justin and Anthony going into the Hall of Fame despite not wrestling as a team, but they're going into the Hall of Fame as a team. But congratulations. But I think James had some internet problems. And anything else you guys want to say tonight? I think we've got the point.
We got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks till we get inducted. That's fire.
But how about the fact that also what I got tonight, actually, before I sign off, is that there was a point that Alan Michaels said. I heard TBW in names I never thought in a positive light with TBW. I heard Anthony Steele sort of mention Stay Tuned and James Taylor and Atomic Titan talking.
Hey, listen, the reason why I say Stay Tuned is, I mean, we had a good time at the Rumble. We did.
Yeah.
You know, it sucked that I couldn't see Alan Michaels or Shane Davison. Couldn't meet them motherfuckers, but, you know.
It'll happen soon, my man. It
will happen
very soon.
I had travel issues.
We understand. The hostess truck broke down. I get it.
But you guys aren't going to have travel problems much longer because isn't Resurrection having a show next weekend?
No, not next weekend. The weekend after.
Right. Well,
yeah.
the 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
2 weeks, 2 weeks.
2 weeks from now, Resurrection has a show. 2 weeks from now. So who knows, right? Who knows what the future brings? Who knows? But I learned tonight that, Alan, the moral of the story was that this all came in a way. I don't know how you planned it, but I saw guys mentioned in a light that I would not have thought they would have been mentioned tonight. Anthony Steele, James Taylor, and, you know, who knows? Omen Black was mentioned briefly. I heard Big Man Cam's name in places that, who knows? Shane Davidson I heard mentioned in places I hadn't heard of.
Remember, September, IMF. I'm fucking heading my way there. I don't care. Ain't nobody.
And you're going after D'Angelo and Drake, I'm sure.
If they show up.
I don't know. I didn't watch
the
show.
It's actually, in hindsight, it is a foundation member that I'm going after. At that point, I am going after someone's title, and I'm gonna wreck house. I got my new thing.
Do you think I could? Well, Levi McDaniel's here on Thursday, and maybe I could ask Levi about that.
I don't know if he knows.
Well, he'll know on Thursday. I'm sure
no one knows who I'm after. No one knows.
TV dub.
But I got a question for Shane. Shane, you still got Madden 24 downloaded?
No, I play strictly college football.
Oh, you're one of those because Alan was doing it on Twitch. Yes.
So I do it on Twitch as well.
Oh, God. I love, you know what? That guy, listen, Ledger Shade, he's my king. Ledger Shade, he's my man on the mountain. He's my man at the top of Mount Rushmore. That other guy, forget him. But, yeah. TBK, I think James will come back. I'll ask him about that. I really do think that James had some technical difficulties. So I'll let you, well, if James comes back, we'll definitely ask him about that. But he'll be back on the Sportzwire.
You busy tonight, Shane? After the welfare, you busy?
I gotta go to bed.
Okay, so we'll let you go to bed.
Oh, my bad. The nursing home hours. I forgot.
I think Alan and Shane have had enough. I think we're getting toward the end. Anything else you guys, Alan and Shane, want to say? Because I could see you guys are ready to call the match.
Yeah, I'm wore out. I've pretty much said what I had to say.
Well, you brought us together. Congratulate Alan. You brought us together.
I'm pretty lit. Shit.
I'm fired up. Listen, Anthony Steele was mentioned in a positive light, and James Taylor and Shane Davidson buried the hatchet. And I heard
they wanted to face me again. I felt good about myself tonight.
So you must be happy because Justin Parsley's team was victorious last night. I heard at All Out Warfare.
As I should. I told you, Foundation was going to fall. But
well, I talked to some of the Sinners guys. Some of the guys talked to me off the air. Were very happy. They were very much in a celebratory mood. I spoke to a few Sinners members. And also, Big Man Cam wants to say, well, first of all, Big Man Cam wants to, Ledger is good company sitting atop this mountain. The industry, Indiana, breeds him different. Good point. Ledger's from Indiana. So Parsley and Ledger have a relationship? Boy, this goes real deep. Boy, people talk about the Russians being involved in politics and elections, but now Parsley and Shade have a relationship? Can this be confirmed? Boy, who really knows what's next? And Parsley is the man who sits on top of the PWF. And look at what he did to Jack Delta. And by the way, Jack Delta is going to be here this week. He's going to talk about Justin Parsley. Justin Parsley, you might want to tune in because I believe it's next weekend. Jack Delta's here. He's holding serve all night long to quote Lionel Richie. And invites extended. Oh, TBW in Ohio. Who knows? Forgets I'd rather hear you going to lock in the last laugh. And James Taylor is here before we go. James. TBK wants to say.
Look at his ugly ass frozen.
James, I know guys are getting ready to run, but TBK wants to talk about the hatchet being buried. I guess maybe not. Sorry, TBK. It's going to have to be a different show because James is having some technical difficulties. We'll make sure to ask him that the minute he's off the air.
Hang on.
Okay. Well,
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know if there's just some bad signal.
I don't know either, but anything else? Okay, well, I guess we'll let you go after this, but yes, we're thankful, Zilla. Anything else? TBK wants to bury the hatchet. Do you want to bury the hatchet, or you can't hear us right now? Want to say anything toward him? Or
yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear
you. If you want to bury the hatchet, then let's bury the hatchet. Totally up to you. DM me or whatever if you can. Guess some hatchets are just too big to be buried. Was waiting on the link.
He didn't know because you were having technical difficulties. You're here now, and
no, it's
okay.
fine.
Okay, so we'll let you guys paint it. I'll send a DM.
Wow, why can't you bury the hatchet online? Do it.
Because he's trying to keep his Wi-Fi connection. Hell yes, Ledger's definitely the greatest champion. I'll take Ledger over Fletch any day of the week. I'll take Ledger over Judgment. I'll take Ledger over any champion. He's my king. Definitely over that guy in Texas and anybody else out there. But we love every champion that's comes on here. We love them all. But Ledger's definitely our king. And we love Poncho, by the way. Poncho, the Painmaker too. Yes, we love the Painmaker too. Yes, we love everybody. Actually, we love them all. We love all the champions on Sportswire. And you know what? I'm in 1,000%. I was so happy that Justin Parsley did that. That Austin. Anybody that could have mocked Austin G, Justin Parsley's just the man for it. And that's why we love Justin Parsley. And I'm proud he's the only 4-time, soon-to-be 5-time Sportswire Radio Hall of Famer. And I am proud he's my PWF champion. You better believe it. I do have 1/3 of a vote, and I'm very happy he's my champion. And I want to certainly say him as my champion, see him for a champion a long time. Nicholas Crenton, I know who Steele is going after, and I definitely want to see that match. TBK's here for like 60 seconds. TBK, James Taylor, Anthony, I know you gave him the link. We know it's you.
For what? I didn't do shit. I'm just sitting here I'm trying to go back on the video on my phone to clip his fucking dumbass face frozen.
I got you. We're going to end the show on this. So what do we got?
Oh, no, I just wanted to make him a man of his word. That's all. I mean, I'm pissed off that we even have to do this because I tried a long time ago to reach out to this man and talk to him one-on-one without the audience, without Sportswire. Anthony can back me up. I tried.
All right, well, he's here now. I got it. I got you. I'm with you. But we're live on the air.
Absolutely.
We talked about the past. So what do we got? Let's go.
I mean, it's like I said, I really don't know where all the animosity came from. Like I said, I've told you before, I mess with everybody. That's just how I am. If you took it the wrong way, I guess I'm sorry. I don't know. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe it's a you problem. I'm not sure. But the part that really got under my skin, and hey, I'm gonna be me. I'm gonna tell it like it is. And if it gets you thrown off the airtime, it is what it is because I got to get it off my chest. Because
I hear you. I gotta be honest. I want you here, but I'm here for the apology or bury the hatchet from both you guys. So
absolutely.
I got you. So
all right,
I don't want to be hurt. You got 30 seconds because I want to get. James has got Wi-Fi issues. We're gonna bury the hatchet for both you guys.
Let's do it backstage. Then I'll bury the hatchet and say I'm sorry for what was said, but I got something I got to get off my chest before he leaves. Let's put it that way. Fair
Okay,
enough?
I think that's reasonable. What I'm here for really is I agree with you. You're here to bury the hatchet, and I think James should bury the hatchet. I think that we should get everybody together. Alan's whole point of the show was let's bury the hatchet. So I think, James, if you'd like to bury the hatchet, we're here live with TBK. I agree that he's here to be able to bury the hatchet. Whatever happened in the past, it's here. It's what it was. You can't go back in time. But there's a moment, if you'd like to be able to, let bygones be bygones and move forward. Doesn't mean everybody's got to go and hold each other's hands and, say praise to whatever you like. But if there's a moment to be able to bury the hatchet, let's go for it.
Wait,
James. We'll wait.
Whenever what you said backstage, so we'll do that. We can
Okay.
do these guys or whatever. Let me get my chargers if that helps too.
Okay. All right. So I guess we'll have to leave it at that. Okay. Well, I guess stay tuned. Anything else you want to say, James? Okay. Well, I guess
UFC.
Anthony, we're gonna wait on that. I guess James is gonna leave us.
Jerry.
No, Jerry tonight because
I'm sorry.
I got you. But the whole point was to bury the hatchet. If they want to have Jerry, they're gonna do it off the air. Let these guys fight it out. But if James is
I'll go
here,
grab the ashes.
you do that backstage. But I'm giving James like 60 seconds. So we'll give him 60. I know these guys want to go here. Yes, Chick is a natural born booker. Yes, we
He's
say
like, James Taylor's like Nicolas Cage, gone in 60 seconds.
I guess so. I mean, I guess that was the whole point to bring him on. I guess we're waiting for.
Please say that you two up there know what movie I just referenced.
What was the reference? Say it again.
Gone in 60 seconds.
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
Okay. Because a lot of people my age don't know what the fuck that movie is.
Well, I think people know Nicolas Cage now for doing he's doing Madden now. James, anything you want to say before we move on, or it's backstage?
Oh, damn, I thought he was going to freeze. I was going to clip his double chin.
Anything else you want to say?
Other than that, yeah, I mean, I just think we can go to the burying the hatchet and all that stuff, but when it comes to what we were originally talking about, matter of the community, the backyard community, burying the hatchets, and some people just have it's just there's a lot of those egos, blah 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 blah. We already talked about all that. Alan Mikaels, Shane Davidson, you keep going with Anthony. You're always an asshole, but I love you. But it is what it is. Tom, thank you for
Natural born.
I do appreciate it. I hope y'all can hear me.
Yes, but anything else you want to say? Anything to TBK? No, backstage. Is that what we're going to do on that, right? Just backstage?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do it backstage.
I offered it. I would like to see it, but that's what these guys, and again, no shade on both guys. It's just that's, what they would like. Okay, fine. Fair enough. Sad Boyville. Yes, we do need more music from them. Next track should be coming out maybe about this. Who knows? Okay, I think I got the point. I think at this point, CBK, sorry about that. I guess we'll see. Maybe you guys will bury it off the air, and we'll go from there pretty much. I guess that's pretty much where we're at. And thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I have Skrilla tomorrow, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Skrilla from Peanut Butter Falcon, also MLW, also a disciple of Copper Dragon. What's that?
Peanut Butter what?
Falcon. He was in the movie Peanut Butter Falcon. Skrilla, you know Spartan Wrestling? Your friend in Spartan Wrestling? He just wrestled up there this weekend, I think. It's either this weekend or last weekend he wrestled there. Skrilla comes from Copper Dragons school, the GWC Intensity. He's
I was like, is Peanut Butter Fountain a fucking, is that an actual company? I was like, damn.
Falcon.
People looking at shit in their cupboards and at this point.
We're going to talk about Peanut Butter Falcon. It's a very well-known movie, and a lot of the guys in GWC had a hand in that. But, okay, we'll have to see. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I guess TBK and James will figure it all out. I appreciate the time. Just in time constraints, I would definitely love to hear both sides, but I guess we'll have to do that another time. We love both the guys. We thank all these other guys for tuning in, everybody else coming on here. My name is the Reverend Tom Bryce, your voice figuratively. Literally, we're all Wrestling Matters. if you're on Sportswire Radio, we'll see you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. And until then, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are.